everybody, and good evening. Welcome back to ESN. We're here live. We're here live tonight for the AWSCO Windows Cup series here. As the clock winds down on the regular season, we head to the last short track race of the regular season. It's round 28 of 40 in the inaugural season. We're here at Richmond Raceway in Virginia for the Valvoline 400. It's 400 miles or 300 miles around this 3/4 of a mile racetrack. And as the regular season winds down, the pressure is definitely piling on for these drivers. For drivers on the bubble, plenty of drivers still looking for a way to enter the playoffs, either based on a win or via points. Still a few spots left in the Cup Series up for grabs, and these next three races are going to be crucial for determining the makeup of the playoff field as in the inaugural Cups in the inaugural AWSCO Windows Cup Series season. Hello, I am Rasha, and welcome to the FanDuel Fan Studio for the pre-race show. I'm once again joined by Ellie here, a regular co-host in the studio with me once again. And lots to talk about here, obviously. The playoff just being one of them. We're also winding down the in-season tournament coming up. Just a few rounds to go. We've whittled down 32 drivers down to 8 now. There's also a lot to talk about there. But first off, I want to get your impressions on this racetrack, Richmond Raceway. Obviously, we've seen the Continental race last night. That was so we have a good idea of what to expect racing-wise. But this time the weather conditions are different. The clouds have cleared up, so it's getting nice clear weather, and that's definitely going to affect the grip levels at this track. How do you think the drivers, the Cup Series drivers, are going to handle that? It seems like word in the grid at least is that these drivers are more or less we're more looking forward to clear conditions than cloudy conditions, and we'll see what that means. What do you think about it?
I think the weather being clear here is just going to make for better racing. I think it's going to affect tire wear, but not in necessarily a bad way for the drivers. If anything, it might be a positive for them, so they might be less all over the place when it comes down to how much they're gripping. I think clear weather here usually just creates for a really nice and fast-paced, aggressive race here on this track. So I think I'm going to be really excited to see what these drivers do when they hit the track, how well they perform, and kind of where everybody kind of files out. I think an interesting thing, though, is you are talking about the points earlier, and I think the cut line is very competitive right now, and I think this track in the not Continental Cup Series is going to be very competitive, especially at this race, given the cut line here. You only have 2 drivers really locked in to get into the playoffs based off of points, which is Nihil and Malixin. But everybody else is kind of in free fall or just not the safest waters.
It's a free-for-all for that last spot, definitely. And with that, let's take a look at our racetrack, Richmond Raceway. I've already mentioned that it's 3/4 of a mile. This track did start out as a classic half-mile oval all the way back in the 1940s, but amidst the growing popularity of stock car racing in the United States, it was expanded to 3/4 of a mile. But notably the positioning of the start-finish line here kind of reflects the original the shape of the track. Even though it's a D-shaped oval, the start-finish line is slightly closer to turn 4 than it is to turn 1. It's not right in the middle of the tri-oval section, and that's something that's pretty notable about this track. It's one of the I think the iconic bits of iconic features of this track. And racing-wise, obviously, a lot of comparisons between this track and Iowa Speedway, the previous track we visited. Both of them short tracks with D-shaped tri-ovals, kind of on the larger side of short tracks. But as we mentioned in the previous pre-race show as well, Iowa Speedway ran a lot like a small speedway where racing was there's a lot of momentum based racing, and fuel management also played an important role at that track. At Richmond, it seems like this track drives more like a short track, albeit a big one. Lots of physical action. We saw a lot of contact in the Continental Series race. Do you expect that we'll see more of that in tonight's race here, even though it's going to be a longer show?
Well, the interesting thing here is that, unlike Iowa, this track kind of lends itself more to the less of the speedway style of racing, even though they're both big short tracks. I think that's the interesting in comparison with these two. They have their similarities and they also have their differences.
Yeah.
Iowa lends itself kind of more towards a speedway, and this track lends itself more towards just a regular short track. So I think contact is kind of a given here. We are going to definitely see it. I just don't know how early on or how late into it. I feel like the middle might be where we see the most contact, because that's where everybody's kind of trying to get into crunch time, try and kind of make up track position there. So I think we're going to see some of the most of the contact and around the middle of the race, I think.
Yeah, only 1/8 of a mile difference between the two racetracks, but I think the profile of the racetrack really does affect the way this track races when compared to Iowa. The backstretch wall is very close to the exit of turn 2, and that's something that gave a lot of drivers trouble yesterday in the Continental Series race. That's where most of our incidents came from. Drivers hitting the outside wall in turn 2. You mentioned the risk potentially in the middle of the race, but I feel like notably the beginning of the race, again with the double file starts, the only time you ever have double file, the only time you're ever lining up double file in AWSCO is in those starts. It only happens once a race, and that's usually been where the point of the pain points are when it comes to incidents. Lots of issues happening at the beginning of the race, and a lot of issues we saw in the beginning of the Continental race. But of course, anything can happen at a short track, and we saw plenty of action, regardless of what part of a run we were at the Continental race yesterday. Another point that we want to talk about, of course, is the tire wear yesterday. Yesterday, tire wear was a big concern with a lot of these drivers. Well, quite a few tire failures early on. I think teams might have been experimenting a little bit with the tire pressures and the setup, and that might have bitten. It might have bitten quite a few teams yesterday. Lots of cars dropping out of contention with tire failures yesterday. We'll see. Do you think the Cup teams here, especially some of the teams that cross over and have entries in both the Cup and Continental Series, do you think they're going to be paying attention to that and maybe making setup adjustments, maybe going a little bit more conservative with the tire pressures, just to not have problems early on?
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to be a big thing here, especially the teams that cross over into Continental. Well, they saw their drivers hit the track, and I think another thing here is that the weather is just more fair. It's just it's cooler out and it's clear, so I think another thing here is that they might have to adjust a little less than they originally would have thought if it was cloudy. I think that's going to help them when it comes down to their tire management and how well their tires perform on the track. I think we'll probably see less tires go down or wear a lot as much as we did in the Continental Series. We're still going to have tire wear, of course. It's a short track that's got some wear on the paving, but I don't know if we'll see as much of tire-related incidents as we did in Continental, given, well, some of the teams were already rolling out some drivers in that series, and, well, I mean, even if you weren't rolling out drivers in that series, you were probably watching the race at the Continental Series yesterday and kind of figured, well, they must have did something wrong. So I do expect us to have a little less tire-related incidents today.
Yeah, and with that, we'll take a look at our starting lineup here. It's Angeli Rugatino on pole. That's your most recent Cup Series winner, with a statement win last time at Iowa, running away from the field then. Continues her momentum, starting on pole position here at Richmond. It's Audie Stoneman joining her on the outside of row 1. In row 2, it's Taylor Happerman and Jocelyn Nihill, your points leader, starting in 4th place, and Taylor Happerman, one of the drivers still alive in the in-season tournament, starting 3rd. Row 3, Bria Delod and Youngwei Koo. Row 4, Yappy Malixon and Unia Waterton, another one of those in-season tournament drivers actually matched up against Taylor Happman in the 31. So that particular matchup with two drivers starting up front, very interesting to see those two. And rounding out the top 10, the three of Mimi Marino with both MUIW cars featuring in the top 10 shootout again, and it's the 19 of Arlen Handstrom on the outside of row 5. Looking at the rest of our in-season tournament field, we have Jami McJasmina starting on the outside of row 8, that's 16th place. She's matched up against Marisha Vebelston, who starts in 37th place all the way back the inside of row 19.
I think what's actually really interesting about the grid here is that a lot of the drivers are kind of qualifying similarly to how they did in Iowa here. Angeli Rugatino being the pole sitter here is kind of just interesting to see. I mean, she won at Iowa. Could she win here, even though there is big differences? I think that's someone to look out for easily, just because, well, she won at Iowa, and this track is very similar. But I would never write out anybody around the row 6 to 9, 10 range as well. There's some great drivers in there who could have just had a bad qualifying. I think McJasmina is going to have a really fun battle to watch out for, and I think Taylor Happman and Waterton starting so close together is going to be interesting to see. For Marisha Vebels, though, starting all the way back out there, I mean, she's a driver that has made her way up the track, but it's still interesting to see her qualify all the way back out there.
Yeah, looking at our two other matchups, you have Kelly Yatica starting in 21st place. I was matched up with a 32 of Sinlia Rariston. Rariston starts on 33rd place inside of row 17. And our last matchup, it's Abby Little versus Carly Byrne. Abby Little starts in 36th, while Carly Byrne starts in 24th place. So cars in the playoff, in the in-season tournament all over the field. And with that, it is time to look at our playoff standings here. Obviously, top two in the championship still don't have wins yet. Jocelyn and Nihil and Yappy Malixon both still still without a win right now, looking pretty good for both of them to make the playoffs, but there is still the slight chance that only one of them is going to be able to do so as the regular season champion. Meanwhile, the battle at the cutoff line is absolutely vicious between Nietzsche Garnston and Felicia Vancy, both of them having issues at Iowa. Vancy retiring very early on, which enabled Garnston to take advantage and hold the 27 now holds a 1-point advantage in the last playoff spot. Audie Stoneman starting in second, only 18 points back. Lori Schliesenbach as well, still in it, 36 points back. Janet Parkins 39 points back. Everyone there, I'd say, still very much in it. Still all within one race worth of points. So lots of things can shift here, but that's coming under the assumption that we don't get another new winner, which, once again, there's always the chance that something like that's going to happen, especially with the wild card at Pensacola coming up. The chance that we have two new winners might really throw a wrench into things. And if we do have three new winners, that would really put the 23 of Yappy Malixon in trouble, because she's sitting 30 points back of Jocelyn Nihil without a guaranteed playoff position right now. That's got to be worrying down at her a little bit. You wonder at this point, you do want to get the 23 or the 64 really want to get one win out of the way. Both of them starting in the top 10. Nihil in 4th and Malixon in 7th. What do you think those two? How do you think those two are going to approach the race? And how do you think the drivers in the bubble are going to be approaching this? 27 and 1 are racing for points, but also have to bear in mind the possibility of a new winner. Maybe someone like Audie Stoneman or someone like Audie Stoneman. I said Taylor Happman. She already won this year. But Stoneman and I think Youngwei Koo as well hasn't won. Yeah, both of them are below the cut line and starting up the top 10 as well. So,
well, I think a thing to look out for is Nihil and Max, and I think both those drivers are going to try to win today. But I also think something to look out for is Garnston and Vancy. Both of them did kind of have issues in Iowa, and maybe they learned from it, and they'll be better today. Maybe not. I think the big thing is we have to pay attention to those two drivers, because they had issues at Iowa. This track is similar. It's got its differences, but if they had issues there, they might have issues here unless they did really learn from it. I think if they do end up having issues here, somebody to watch out for is Stoneman. She's only minus 18, and she could easily take that spot from Garnston. I think that is definitely something to look out for, but I would not be surprised at all if Nyhir and Maurickson get a win.
Yeah. And with that, any final thoughts before we hand things over to the booth, Ellie? This is 400 laps with this track. It's bound to be a bit of a crazy affair, I think. It's going to have probably a good mix of both short and long runs coming to us here. It's gonna be a fun ride here at Richmond.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the drivers hit the track. I'm ready to see them do it any moment.
Yeah, and with that, we'll wrap things up here in the studio. We'll hand it over to the booth where Echo will be joined by Madison in commentary today. And enjoy the show here at Richmond Raceway. Thank you very much for joining us.
And welcome to Richmond Raceway here in Richmond, Virginia, just a few miles north of downtown Richmond. Here for the Valvoline 400, the 28th race of our regular season, and after this, only 2 more races remain until the playoffs. I'm joined in the booth by Madison, who joined me last week as well at the end of the race in Iowa. Well, you were there for Iowa, and now you're going to be here for all of Richmond. What do you got to say about Richmond? What do you think we're gonna see here tonight, and how do you think these drivers are gonna tackle this track?
Well, we know in particular in the past with especially the Car of Tomorrow and even the Gen 6 to some degree, there are certainly some entertaining and especially chaotic races here at Richmond. So I would expect more of that tonight. Of course, from Iowa, there's considerably more tire wear at a place like Richmond and a bit less room to fight around as well. And yeah, I would expect much of the same, but maybe a few aspects intensified.
Yeah, and this track will have some good tire wear in consideration. We saw that in yesterday's race, where the tire wear really played a factor in the final stop. And we saw in yesterday's race as well, it was a driver that kind of drove away from the field, kind of like where we saw last week in Iowa in the Cup Series. Speaking of Iowa last week, let's get through our starting grid. Row 1, Angeli Rugatino starts right where she left off last week with the pole for this race. She sits alongside Audie Stoneman on the front row. Row 2, Taylor Happeman, winner at Texas, and she's alongside our points leader, Jocelynia Nihale, who, along with Yappy Malikson, trying to get their spots in the playoffs clinched tonight. Row 3 is Bria DeLotte in the 55, 3-time winner this season, and the 38 of Youngwei Koo. Row 4 is the 23, Yappy Malikson, and the 13 of Yania Waterton, who won at Kentucky. Row 5, Mimi Marino, is alongside the 19 of Arlen Handstrom, winner back at Bathurst. Row 6, the 52 of Rachel Cole, is alongside the 91 of Alicia Byrne. Row 7, the 39, Lily Talberson, is alongside the 17, Dira Reister. Row 8 is the 15, Tabrizi Tolerone, and the 6 of Gianni McJasmina. Row 9, the 22, Andrea Davison, and the 46, Yenfi Yanaga. Row 10, the 8 of Laurie Schliesenbach, and the 42 of Meika Gennaro. Row 11, the 92, Michele Yatica, and the 2 of Isa Ijavida. Row 12, the 1 of Alicia Vancy, and the 9, Carly Byrne. Row 13 is the 20 of DeGabi Gabriella, and the 62 of Halis Jukovic. Row 14 is the 60 of Amory Wesco, and the 16 of Sky Angetta. Row 15, the 82, Pace Laniria, and the 27, Nietzsche Garnston. Row 16 is the 34, Mika Harina, and the 26 of Sophie Chantazé. Row 17, the 32, Cindy Rairston, and the 18, Periela Contes. Row 18, the 93, Irina Tosima, and the 71 of Abby Little. Row 19, the 99, Marisha Vebelst, and the 21 of Amani Wandayo. And back in row 20, the 72, Janet Parkings, and the 98 of Ava Ajarsaraj. So Rugatino starts on pole after winning last week. You think she's left off where she started last week, or do you think that she may have to do some adjustments and fight off some challenges here in this one?
Well, the greatest difference of all, I think, is much higher tire wear at a place like Richmond as opposed to Iowa. So certainly if you have speed early on, it will be very hard to preserve that as the run goes on. So starting on pole is definitely the ideal way to start the weekend, but what you really want is to be able to understand your car through the race, and that will take time. I think we'll have to see as the first run goes on, maybe the first 2 runs.
Yeah, and we saw last night that the short run was pretty big. The short run was pretty big for some cars, but some cars were really good on the long run. Cars came up through the field quite a bit on the long runs last night, as well as on the short runs. So, with that being said, we also have the playoff mix at stake here. We have the in-season tournament at stake. There's a lot going on here. What do you think the keys are going to be for somebody like Nihale or Malixon, or any of those drivers battling for the last point spot right now? What do you think is going to be important for them as we reach as we run through this race?
Drivers, start your engines!
Well, we have 2 races after this one, of course 3 including this one, so there's no need to panic and rush right now. You should ideally get the best finish as you can, but you don't need to fight too hard. Just be sensible, be fast, and stay out of trouble if you can.
Pace car is off. And the green flag is out. And we are racing in Richmond. Rugatino leads the way into turn 1. Car's getting squirrely already back here. There's Yappy Malixon trying to take the spot from Youngwei Koo.
And she does easily. Still more 3 wide back there as the outside line is having a disadvantage on these early starts, it looks like. As we go down into turn number 1 again, more 3 wide action. Hit a contact as well.
3 wide contact between Yatika, McJasmina, and Waterton. Rugatino out front for the first couple laps here.
Further back, we nearly had 4 wide, and most certainly contact.
Oh, there's contact with Stoneman and Cole, and they're both in the wall. Around goes the 64.
And the 64th round.
Oh, to Gabriella. Around as well. Caution is out.
And
Oh, there's a big stack up here. Looks like Ava Jarsaraj. And Gabriella runs right into the 98. Sends her up and over.
upside down and over. Well, that was certainly apt timing to talk about turn 2 and turn 4 being trouble spots, wasn't it?
Yeah, no kidding. Pit road is open, but it doesn't look like many cars are coming down pit road here.
I don't see why it would. It is only lap 4 after all. Nothing to really gain from a first stop here.
I mean, I think a couple cars back here are going to come down just because of damage.
Oh, definitely. That's a very obvious reason, if nothing else. It looks like maybe a few of those cars coming down were intact, so maybe a bit of a strategy decision from drivers further back who feel they don't have much to lose. Maybe try set a scuffs later in the race.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see how many cars fall out from that, but, okay, the 20, 27, and 82 are out of the race. They've all retired. As far as I can tell, nobody who's in the bracket is out of the race. Well, the 6 is spending quite a bit of time on pit road of Jimmy McJasmina. And never mind, she's out.
We saw
Forget what I said about nobody in the bracket
the 98
falling out.
outside 10 at the end of it. So
98 is done,
certainly quite a chaotic incident there.
All right. Well, a bunch of things happened.
Yeah, I think it starts with the 10 closer to the front, getting into the outside wall.
92
It
gets
was
into
more
the
wide there,
64.
actually.
64 goes around, and the 92 just kind of pinches the 20 up the track.
And that's a small incident back there. And then there's another big pileup in turn 4 that we need to
Ooh.
look at. We see the 82 and the 8 teammates there.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what causes all this. Oh, wow. Felicia Vancy.
Oh, the 1 got in the air.
They're trying to miss this. The
The
one...
tried to-
Oh, she
Wow.
just got tapped by the 8
Oh, and
car.
got run over by
82.
And more cars just come piling in as if there's ice on the track.
Just,
We saw the 98 get T-bone sent over.
not the greatest merge. Now, that does affect the bracket. The 6 was in the bracket against the 99, so that will actually advance Marisha Vebelston. Despite the fact that the 99, well, wasn't even really close. Isn't even really close to the front right now.
Well, the pace car lights are off, so I think we'll get a restart this time.
Yes, we in fact will get a restart. And that's the thing is, you know, on these starts, they get a little bunched up. They kind of get a little messy on the starts just because of the 2 wide. But now we're going to be single file, so hopefully now they'll be a little bit calmer. Green flag, back out. And we are racing once again in Richmond.
Superb jump for Bergatino there. Pretty much everybody else minus third at the moment. Davison looking to the inside of the log momentarily. We're starting to get too wide further back. Maybe a little bit of 3 before long.
Yeah, it could be 3 wide. This track you can get away with 3 wide a lot more than you can at Iowa. However, you still can't get away with it that much. So Marisha Vebel's making an aggressive move. Fork found in kitchen
shot.
there. Gabby Malixon's been pressuring Taylor Happeman for a little bit.
There's a 3 Mimi Barino back there as well in fourth, looking to pick up any scraps.
Yeah,
And
maybe
bit of
Marino's...
contact between the 23 and 31. Maybe
Ooh, the
3
3
wide.
car forcing her way in. Barino will take third away from
Forcing her way in
Malixon.
and clear off 4. Great move.
Maybe Barino's looked very strong at these short tracks lately. She finished second at Echo Energy International Speedway. She ran very well at Iowa last week, and now she's driven her way up to second here. Taylor Happeman slides up in the
Happeman
middle
went
of...
very wide, might have had a problem.
Barino slipped up in 3 and 4, though. That's going to let the 31 try and look to the inside here in 1 and 2. Ooh, a little contact.
Side mounts and also maybe having a look.
Andrea Davison driving her way into this battle. Happeman gets second back. Oh, we had a spin down the front straightaway. It's Yania Waterton. And Easy Javida looks to have some damage as well. Caution is back out.
Those 2 cars were involved in the first incident as well, so maybe some trouble, a small collision near the back. As the 2 is quite slow.
Oh, dear. 19 to 39 made contact, but the 19 actually didn't hit anything, so...
Yeah, sick drift if I say so, as the 2 is almost certainly going to come to pit road.
I think everybody might come to pit road here. Might be worth it to kind of check out the tires. 15 staying
It
out.
definitely looked like a few of the cars that did come to pit road that first time probably will be staying out. Like 34, for instance, is going to be one of those cars.
Nope, she's coming in.
Nope, never mind. More damage repair.
Fabrizio Toler in the 15. She has to stay out here, but I think she may be the only one. Well, we'll go back and see what happens. And then we'll get back to you for the restart. Nine car should we have the free pass? 96, 31, 3, 22, 39, 38, 23, 60, 99, 55 will be the top 10. Well, top 10 off pit road, we're going to ignore that the 15 stayed out.
So you saw Waterton have a spin first and then get hit by the 2. Oh, looked like she was...
Caution was already out, I think. Caution was
it?
already out, I think. I may be seeing things, honestly. Oh, no, it wasn't. I am, in fact, seeing things.
No, it was for the 13 making that dive into the corner. And that's either
Two car just got into her.
That's a huge hit from the 2.
2 cars out of the race from that. The 13 is still going, though. Carly Byrne in the 9 car will get the free pass car. Will get the free pass here.
Well, I can't say I'm terribly surprised at how chaotic this start has been, considering we kind of talked about this on the pre-race show, as well as having seen it in other races here at Richmond across other series.
Yeah, it's been a chaotic start, but it hasn't been too overboard, I think. So Tabrizi Tolrone opted to stay out. She is the leader. Then it's Rugatino, Happeman, Barino, Davison, Talberson, Koo, Malixon, Wesco, Vebelst, the top 10. Yania Waterton is a bracket card. She's against the 31 in the bracket this week. Now, Waterton's still in the race, so... Lights are out on the pace car. We're going to get back going green. Very shortly. And that's the thing, yes, as well. We saw yesterday the first 100 laps pretty well had a few incidents. We had 5 yellows in the first about 120 laps of yesterday's Continental race. After that, there was no cautions. We had a pretty much 140 lap run to the end of the race yesterday. Green flag, back to racing in Richmond, and Tollerone is the leader.
Even jump for Mercatino. Looks like Topperson is going to look to the inside for 5th. Going to take it.
She's got it. Barino's trying for 3rd from Happeman. Pressuring. Sliding underneath. She doesn't have the spot at the line, but she'll probably get it into 1 and 2. So Yappy Malixon passing Andrea Davison. And Happeman slid way up. She's now lost 4th to Talberson. They're going 4 wide off of turn number 4. I don't know how they survived, but they did.
But they did not wreck.
Yeah, shockingly. Probably lucky it was off turn 4, because in turn 2 that would have been That would have been bad if it was turn 2, but in turn 4 you get a little more room to kind of make it stick. Fight for 4th here between Koo and Halverson.
Not much of a fight, more so pass if anything. Well, never mind. Halverson's fighting back.
Halverson's cutting back to the inside. Here comes Barrino for 2nd, trying to get past Rigatino, who led the opening laps. Move the 3 car to 2nd. Move the 3 car to 2nd. Maybe Barrino's got something cooking, I think.
Well, we'll see what exactly, but she is closed up mightily to the back of the 15. May plot that move anytime now.
She may do it now. 15 slides a little bit. Here comes Barrino.
Down the backstretch into 3, drawing even. 3 car dives into the corner. Is clear already.
She's got it.
Fighting back to retake 2nd.
New leader, it's Mimi Barrino in the 3 car. And she has had something figured out on these short tracks lately. Ran real well last week in Iowa. Finished 2nd at Echo Energy International. And now she's leading here early in Richmond. Battle for 7th. Marisha Vebelst fighting with Lily's Halverson. Halverson stuck up on the outside. She's kind of losing ground. Rugatino's gotten back to 2nd. See, the 19 was looking low, but she's going to drop back in line here. So we may see, ooh, a car was in the wall way in the back. That looks like Alicia Byrne in the 91. Sorry, that caught my eye. 6th place now between Koo and Davison. Or between Koo and Vebel, excuse me. And now Tabrizi Tolerone starts to drop back into the clutches of the field, but for Tabrizi Tolerone, I will say the fact that she stayed out does not seem to be hurting her in the long run. At least in the short term, it doesn't seem to be that bad.
Not much, really. Only losing, what, a couple spots since 3 start 10 laps ago. I think maybe saving those scuffs for later and then having a little bit older tires now might be worth it in the long run. And certainly the undercut will get you more positions on shorter runs as well.
Marisha Vebels just held off Halis Jukovic on the outside. I'm not sure if she did a crossover to get the spot back or not. Meanwhile, here's a fight. Here's Davison trying to take it to Happeman and Tolerone. She's going to go for both.
2 birds with 1 stone right there, and here comes Happeman to pick up the scraps and take 4th.
How about Audie Stoneman? Started in 2nd, but she dropped back. Here comes Jukovic again on Vebelst. Couple drivers who won earlier in the season.
Jukovic is also going to look up underneath the 15, I think, pretty soon anyway.
Barrino's been getting away, though. You may notice she is kind of running a bit of a different line than the 96. She is,
higher by the looks of it. You know, the 96 is actually closing, and I think that might be a bit more of a product of tires getting a little bit old at this stage than anything
Yeah,
else
but
last
who's
couple laps.
the 22's closing more?
Definitely not just ready to take second yet, but probably will be soon.
She's going for it though.
Side by side down the back stretch into turn number 3. She's gonna dive in, keep that nose in there. Still side by side off of 4. Into turn 1, very clearly side by side. This is where Davison can take second.
Catching the lap car of the
Not quite there
13.
yet.
Lap car in the way. Three car gets through.
Actually gained time those last 2 laps with Davison and Mercatino fighting further back. Not a great spot for Davison to catch the 13, but she is through. Certainly a lot easier of a time getting through for Mercatino.
I think now, if you're Barrino, now I'm going to start to worry about the 22, because the 22 is definitely faster than that 96.
Absolutely, and certainly the 3 actually is losing a little bit of time in general to those 2 cars when they're not fighting each other, so certainly a bit more to worry about for Barrino right now. We're about 40 laps in.
How about Audie Stoneman? She's driven her way up to 5th now. And she may actually be in the running. She may actually try and get 4th from Halisukovic. The red racing
Absolutely
cars.
not bad for a car that's been in the wall.
Red racing cars look real fast today. The 22 and now the 10 has gotten her way up to 4th. And now Davison is slowly closing in on Barrino. Yesterday it was Hieta Yoko who drove all the way up to an 8-second lead at one point in the race. Reina Munoz closed the gap later on, but it still was a 6.5-second gap between Yoko and Munoz at the end of the race. And hey, Jocelyn Nihale, who spun earlier, she's still in 14th. So, you know, the thing is here, you could be damaged, but it won't hurt you. It won't necessarily be that big of a problem. They're going 4 wide here, though.
4 wide here.
Oh, 13 and 93 in the wall. Hung on to it, though. Could have been much worse there. As we've had a pass for the lead, Andrea Davison has taken it away. Oh, Rugatino.
Oh, Rugatino hard in the wall.
She was way out of shape. She's going to lose. She lost 3rd from that. '99 cars on pit road. So now Davison has taken the lead. Her teammate Audie Stoneman sits in 3rd. Amy Barrino, the 3 car, now 2nd. Arlen Handstrom is up to 4th in the 19 car. And Rugatino 5th. Ellie, you got word on why the 99 came down pit road?
Yeah, it looked like she was just trying to come into pit, but we're hearing that she's got some oil leak from her team right now. That's what they're reporting right now.
Very unfortunate. We saw the 96 dive down pit road as well. I think she hit the wall hard enough to where it damaged her car a little too much. '21 came in as well. Same for the 18 as well. 18 was on pit road. Audie Stoneman has been closing in on both of the leaders for a good bit now. The 10 car looks very, very fast right now. And I think that's another thing you want to keep your eye on here. Because the 10 car is in that mix for the final playoff spot right now. She came in just 18 points back of the 27 who held the spot.
Brigatino's back off pit road and holding up the leader. And Vancy may as well. This might give Brino a chance.
I think she's actually I think the 96 is going to be faster because she's going to have fresh tires.
Yeah, probably. Certainly came out at a very bad time for Davison nonetheless. They'll both be held up by Vancy here regardless.
Been quite a few cars. 26 is pitting.
You're talking about Stoneman closing in. She's really been held up by the lap cars there, particularly the 91 of Alicia Byrne.
Yeah, the 10's really struggling to get through the lappers right now.
Oh, bit of contact between Byrne and Vancy. That might give Stoneman a chance now. Well, you're right about Rigatino being faster for sure. She is starting to pull away from our leader, Davison.
There's Stoneman navigating some more lap traffic. I know you're seeing the 91 here. I think all these lap cars are going to be faster than the leaders because they have fresh tires.
Yeah, you're talking about Stoneman navigating lap traffic. I think it's more like lap traffic navigating Stoneman right now. Because Alcante's got past, Byrne got past, so we're seeing another car get past further back there.
We're seeing the 91 and the 18 do the same thing here as well, so.
On Brino, yeah, definitely. It's more like the lap cars navigating the leaders.
Yeah. Trying to get what laps back that they can.
That could be very profitable if this run continues to go on and they do reach Davison, and then maybe a caution comes out so they don't have to rely on the free pass for just one of them.
Well, there are these cars are all 2 laps down, so they get to one.
So,
they get to one
back
down.
would certainly do a lot.
Yeah. they'd get to 1 down by getting past the 22 here.
And it looks like Byrne will do just that. Alcante's probably before too long.
And now with them trying to navigate through the leader, that could help Barrino and Stoneman for catching back up to the 22. But so far, we've been green since about lap 20. Andrea Davison out front right now. Mimi Barrino second, Audie Stoneman third.
What word do you have on the 26?
Yeah, I'm hearing reports that she's got a leak as well.
She's still on pit road, so
Bit of contact there between lap cars, and looks like Davison is gonna try and get back past Byrne.
he's gonna try. I'm not sure if it's gonna succeed. Yeah, it's
that
not.
inside certainly is advantageous to a degree, but not that time.
Yeah, well, I think the 91 again. The 91's gonna benefit from the fresh tires here, so.
Sure. Sometimes that inside can still really keep up, as we see Bevels maybe looking to get by. Not yet.
Ellie?
Gonna get a nose in turn 2 though.
It looks like Angetta was reporting a vibration in her tire, and it ended up just going down on her, so she had to get that fixed.
Well, that's very unfortunate for Sky and Jetta. Bevels finally clear.
Bevels is clear.
Bevels finally clear Davison, so now all these top 3 are pretty well. They're again not split by any lap cars.
Yeah, we'll see what Brito can do, because she really hasn't been closing in that much on our leader Davison in general. Certainly a little bit more strung out among the top 3, even if they aren't really separated by any cars.
Yeah, now Davison's starting to pull away just a little bit from these from the 2 cars behind her. For Andrea Davison, she has a win already this year. She won back at Charlotte. So for our bracket matchups, Vevelst is already advanced because the 6 is out of the race. The 31 is in 7th, while Yania Waterton is 2 laps down. Between Abby Little and Carly Byrne, the 71 is in 12th spot right now. The 9 is in 16th. And then the 32 and 92 between Yatica is in 10th and Rariston is in 20th. So right now as it stands, it would be Vevelst against Little and Yatica against Happeman. 22 car going past the 17 Dura Reister. More lap cars kind of getting in the way as here we go. We got a battle for second. Audi Stoneman will take it away from Barrino. So the 10 car now in second.
Barrino's hanging tough, though. Still there.
Barrino's trying to stick with her, but not able to do it. There's now another red racing car kind of showing up here. There's a Money One Dio who's a couple laps down. See Yen Fianagas come down pit road. Still multiple pit cycles are left in this race, obviously so. But now it's going to come down. I think we're going to now see if Audi Stoneman can run down Davison more so than what Barrino was doing earlier.
That'll certainly be interesting to see as we see the 21 get on the inside of Barrino further back.
21 has fresh tires. And Stoneman is closing. Stoneman goes a little wide there. But Barrino, we'll see if Barrino doesn't look like she has enough to catch up to that, to stay with the 10. But the 10 lost time there from the 21 going by. Now Davidson's still hung up in these lap cars though, especially with Rachel Cole, Laurie Schliesenbach, Sunlia Rariston here. But right now it's looking like Red Racing is the team to reckon with, as Abby Little has just come off pit road. Here's how everything's going on back here. There's where Carly Byrne is in the 9 car. She's actually sitting 14th. Stoneman is slowly starting to catch back up to Davison again. We may see with some of these cars that have come down pit road early, they may end up, if we get to green flag stops, they may end up cycling into really good positions compared to where the leaders are. Wandayo moving the 22 out of the way.
Also set to go past the 32 further ahead.
Yeah.
As
The 93 is starting to
second,
close in
looks
on
like
all of them. Still Stoneman in second. Stoneman is closing, but we'll see how quickly she can close. The 93 also looks fairly fast right now. Tosin is putting pressure on Davison right now, but right now it's kind of just everybody's kind of trying to run their race.
certainly plenty of time left in this race. Over 310 laps at this rate.
Yep.
No need to rush right now. We can be sensible.
Gonna lap the 1 car Avanci again. It looks like Tosema's gonna try to get past the 22. Not right now. 21's back down pit road. Some more issues for her. Meanwhile here, there's the 19, Arlen Handstrom, still in 4th. We got Halis Jukovic in 5th. Rita Delod, Amory Wesco, Taylor Hafferman, Michele Yatica, and Lily Talberson. Stoneman's starting to close up on the 22 though. Now down to 1.7 seconds. And she lost all of it right there. Stoneman definitely looks like she's faster than the 22, but she just can't keep it strung up.
Yeah, certainly seems to keep hitting those lap cars at worse times, as we saw at the one Avanci in particular there. Gained about a 10th that time, so certainly proving what you're saying to be true.
Hell, now the 22's kind of stuck in even more lap traffic, though. That's another thing here. Catching more cars that are, you know, kind of trailing the lead lap a little bit. Car lost a little bit of time there, but the 22 is going to have to negotiate through. Thirteen is on pit road. We may start to see green flag pit stops very soon, though. I think we may see the leaders come down pit road very soon. Stoneman closed again that time. There's the 16 Sky and Jetta who came down pit road with a flat tire earlier. Now it's kind of just watching everybody who's on different cycles kind of pass through each other. Stoneman closing again.
Marino's definitely dropped back a lot right now. Was fighting for second, now some 2 seconds behind Stillman.
Yep.
A bit of 3 wide action here. Stillman on the bottom.
3 wide, lead lap car on the bottom with the 2 lappers on the top side. Stoneman's really starting to make up ground though. Oh, but Angetta
Here comes the 16 though.
forces her way through. "13 cars right now on the lead lap. But I imagine that will probably change once cars start coming down pit road. Stoneman's still just 1.2 seconds back, and she may gain a little bit more, especially if these faster cars catch that 22. She did gain a 10th that time. Strategy-wise, this race is shaping up to be very, very interesting. Stoneman dropped a little time there, but see if the 16 and 46 can get through the 22 here. Oh, cars are spinning around. It's Nihale! Caution is out.
Well, we talked about green flag pit stops. It looks like we are not getting them just yet.
Nope. Looks like we're having yellow flag pit stops instead. So 106 laps of the way into this one. A caution has come out. The 15 of Tolaron will be the free pass car. Third caution of the day comes out here at lap 106. And the points leader coming into this race is just spun around. '22 wins the race out, then it'll be the 10, the 3, the 19, the 62, the 60, the 31, 55, 92, 39, 72, and 23. And here comes everybody else, all the lap down cars down pit road. All right. Let's see what happens with Jocelyn and Nihale here in turn 4.
Well, Tosim has certainly been very aggressive in getting around other cars, and looks like she's the culprit here. Oh, that's egregious.
I think that's kind of... I think that's... Because remember, the 93 has much fresher tires than the 64.
Yeah, that's no excuse to dive in like that, though.
I think the 64 kind of came down a little bit, too. It kind of both just went for the same spot without realizing the other one was going for it. I'm not sure that's on either of them. So everybody came down pit road. So as it stands, it's Davison, Stoneman, Barino, Handstrom, Jukovic, AWSCO, Happen, Delod, Yatica, Talberson, the top 10. There's just 13 cars on the lead lap now. So we saw a lot of cars drop down. We've seen a lot of cars drop down off the lead lap, and well, what we may see is if there's a caution here that comes out that puts some cars that are a lap down in between the lead lap cars, that could help some cars that are a lap down right now get back. Lights are out on the pace car, so we are about to go back green. Tabrizia Tolerone was the free pass car. Don't worry about the 26. She's just having fun over there. Pace car's off. And the green flag is out. We are back to racing here in Richmond. And Davison gets a good start. Here comes Barrino for second.
How about Taylor Huffman quickly getting a couple spots on these first few corners?
Yeah, she's up to 5th. How about Debria Delade making her way up through here in that 55 car?
Stoneman falling like a rock, though, might even lose a position in the top 5.
Stoneman is
Did not
really
get that
stuck
very
up top.
far.
Oh, as Yanaga looks underneath Njetta. Everybody's on equal
It looked like it worked.
Everybody's on equal ground right now. Barrino looks like she's pretty strong on the short run, but on the long run, I think that the 3 car is a little bit weak. "15 got a penalty when she shouldn't have, so I'm just going to give her a lap back." Davison leading, but Barrino's closing up a bit. Stoneman's now finally gotten in line. Sixth place. There's 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. Free pass position is the 32 of Cinlia Rariston at the moment. As we have a lead change. Here comes Mimi Barrino to get the lead back. Hey, where have we seen...
back there has secured 3rd.
Hey, where have we seen the 3 car doing really well at Richmond before, out of nowhere? The 3 car is starting to pull away now. We may have a fight. We have a fight for 3rd still on our hands, though, as Harlan Handstrom fights with Taylor Happeman for that. Here comes Bria Delade as she got really loose off the corner. Who's on pit road? Nihale, 64 car. 93 is also on pit road. Now, Handstrom going for 2nd. And the 19 will take 2nd spot away from Andrea Davison. Janet Parking's right there in the 7th spot. Haveman still continuing to lose ground. And with all these lap cars kind of getting in the mix with everybody here, I would not be surprised if we saw somebody get into somebody and it leads to a caution, like right there with the 31 and 10. Those two both got into the outside wall there.
Definitely not the first time that Stoneman's been up in that outside wall, and she is continuing to lose spots.
She's still stuck up on the high lane.
Track position.
Barrino's put Tosima behind her. She's trying to fend off Handstrom. Fight for fourth between Dalad and Yatica. Michele Yatica doing a really good job in this race. She sees the car that's battling her in the bracket right behind her, actually. Although Rieriston is a lap down at the moment.
Certainly is faster than many of these cars and may pass in a moment on Yatica and others.
I could see the 32 even getting to the lead here. Well, you know what I mean by the lead.
Well, passing the leader, yeah.
Passing the leader and getting her lap back that way. Zarlin Handstrom trying to navigate past Tosima. Oh, caution is out. Looks like Marisha Vebels has gone around.
Looks like the leaders
32.
are going to come to pit road.
That does in fact look to be the case. So Barrino will lead them back down. We will check out what happens with Marisha Vebels there on the back, but it did not look ideal. Oh, that's kind of what they tend to say. Cautions breed cautions. Barrino, Handstrom, Yatica, Davison, Jukovic, Delod, Parkings, Talberson, AWSCO. And Stoneman will get out 10th. Just making sure that 32 didn't get a black flag or anything. Alright. Well, we're going to take a look and see what happened with Marisha Vebels, because it did look like she was involved in that.
Yeah, it looks like she got spun around. Maybe the 21 has something to do with it. They're getting a bit sketchy.
Yeah.
And
Ooh, hard into the inside wall there.
out of the 21, it looks like he just got glued to the front bumper.
Luckily, nobody else got involved. Just kind of spun around, bounced off the wall, and... kept it going. Doesn't look. We'll see if she's We'll see if she has that much damage, but I'm not sure if she does really have that much damage. Mimi Barrino looks very fast today. And I would not be surprised if we see this 3 car up at the front when things come down to it. But right now, Barrino is the leader. You got Handstrom and then Michele Yatica having a great run in 3rd place right now. Michele Yatica's season has kind of been... She had a very strong first 5 races. Kind of didn't really do a lot after that. But she's had a pretty solid bracket run so far. She's in the third round of the bracket and right now in position to advance over the 32 of Cinlia Rariston and make the semifinal. So, Barino, Handstrom, Yatica, Davison, Jukovic, Delad, Parkings, Talberson, Wesco, Stoneman, the top 10. Fifteen of Tabriza Toleran, I think, had trouble getting out of her pit stall, and she's actually dropped off the lead lap again. So we do, in fact, still have 13 cars on lead lap. Just making sure. Green flag! We're back racing, and the 3 got a very good jump. Oh, Jukovic really forcing the issue on Davison. Fight for second. Here comes Yatica.
Yatica's through, and it looks like Davison is losing quite a few spots further back, still being freight trained on that outside line.
Oh, the 93 got really sketchy.
That was close to the 10.
31 is pitting. The 99 had a penalty on the restart. We see a fight for second back going. Here comes Arlen Handstrom once more. Trying to take it away from Yatica, but she can't get to the inside. Really trying to squeeze her way in.
There, but gonna open her back up in 4, side by side down the front stretch. I think she'll take it down in turn 2. Tends to happen. And she's clear.
She's got it. However, Bria Delad having a very good run. Bria Delad hasn't had a top 10 since she won at Mexico City. Delad's dropped all the way to 12th in points because of that, but caution is out. I believe the 32 has gone around in the back. Cinlia Rariston. I think most of these cars are going to stay out. We got a little bit of split strategy here. Where are you going, Carly? Well, now that is going to help a fair amount of these cars. Rariston is out of the race. What happens to the 32? Oh, I think it happens right here.
I think it's contact between...
Oh, it's the 42 and 64.
Oh! 42 got turned into the wall, and yeah, the 32 is collateral damage.
Good lord, Marisha Vebels.
Wow, look at Vebels squeezing through there.
Well, yellow number... What is that? 5?
5? Maybe 6?
I think that's number 5.
Certainly a bit of a stop-start race, this, with a couple cautions to start us off and a good long green run, and now a couple more yellows.
Yeah, and these yellows are going to be a big help for those cars that are laps down. Because obviously they'll get wave arounds. Cinlia Rariston's out of the race, so that means that Michele Yatica has officially advanced in the bracket. So the 92 will be in the semifinals. We have the 99 and 92 have moved on. Probably burned. The 9 car was the free pass. Me and Barino still leads. The driver from Fremont, California. Sure, you're probably glad to see a Californian leading the way here.
Can't say I'm disappointed. And Hamstrom and Yannicka rounding out the top 3, and I suspect we will get a restart this next lap.
Should get the lights out. Yes, we do. Barino, Hamstrom, Yatica, Jukovic, Delod, Davison, Wesco, Stoneman. Parkings. And Malikson. I'm not sure where the 17's going. Maybe she just doesn't want her lap back.
Or maybe. Well, that'll make a very interesting restart.
Green flag. We may see a fight here for third back here. There's Yatica, Jukovic, and Delod all right next to each other.
Stoneman had a great restart. She's already challenging Davison for 6. Those
Yes.
cars that were sort of fighting for the lead earlier.
They were. We thought Red Racing might have had hands this race, but they've kind of fallen back a little bit. But Stoneman's trying to drive back up through. Jukovic has just driven past Yatica for third.
Three wide off
Three
the corner.
wide. We may see a fight for the lead. Here comes Arlen Handstrom in the 19 car. And Handstrom has been solid on the ovals this year. She takes it away from Barino. New leader, it's Arlen Handstrom. The winner back at Bathurst earlier in the year. '19 car now out front. Reno. Jukovic. Oh, caution is out again. Oh, big crash down the back straightaway.
Big pile up. Should have piled in.
A lot of cars. Oh, Waterton.
I think Carly hit Alicia back there as well briefly, and that is going to be easier to find who isn't involved in that.
Nihale was in it. A bit of split strategy up front. Alicantes will be the free pass car. What in...
Well,
what happened?
trouble spot turn 2, and we can see it starts further ahead, at least I think. Oh, it starts with a 3
Oh,
wide,
it's
I
the
think.
42 and the 91. 21 gets in it. And then everybody just kind of stacks up. Oh, and Jetta piles in.
Several hard hits for the 60.
Oh, Nihale.
Oh my gosh, Nihale.
Not sure what happens. The
Took us a
91
second
spun
to see
again
what
back
happens
here.
in turn 4.
Oh, these
So,
cars are
Thompson
just trying to...
looks like he's trying to straighten it out, and then...
Gets
ran
into
out
the
turn.
91.
Then Bird comes back down the track, and...
Carly runs into her.
Yeah. Lucky that those other cars didn't hit her. That could have been a lot worse.
So Jetta's done. Burn is out. Wandio's out. Cole is out. Nihale. Waterton is out. That means Taylor Happman will advance in the bracket. Well, that means
You know,
we...
our two leaders... They did come to pit road, so that'll make strategy, I think, very interesting to watch with Yatica and Yukovic staying out.
Yeah. A good few cars stayed out here, so...
I believe it's the top 7 that stayed out, as far as I know.
I believe you're correct. Yukovic, Yatica, Stoneman, Davison, Parkings, Malikson, Talberson, Handstrom, Dalad, Barino, the top 10. No waiver rounds. Whites are out on the pace car, so we're going to go back to green very soon here.
$150 laps in the books once we get this restart.
So we'll have 250 to go when we take the green here. Green flag! Back to racing in Richmond. And the car out front is Halis Yukovic. But for how long?
Between the top 3 momentarily.
Here
Yatica's
comes...
making the move now.
Here comes the 92. Michele Yatica. Here comes Adi Stoneman, maybe trying to take him 3 wide. Thought I heard sliding in the background, but I think I'm just going crazy. Yatica to the lead. Here comes Stoneman.
Davies are back in the picture. Where have we seen these two?
Kind of reminded me a lot of Iowa, where we kind of got a really good long green flag stretch, and then we got a bunch of cautions all in a row. 3 wide. Delod, Parkings, and Malikson over here. Those cars all over the
Parkins
place.
back on the inside of Delad here.
Yeah, Parking's going to get that spot.
On Talberson.
Here comes Malikson on Delad. Michele Yatica staying out front right now. Remember, Yatica did lead a good chunk of Iowa last week after staying out.
Yeah, it looks like Stoneman is faster, but really not that much faster. Very interesting situation as we see Jukovic continuing to lose spots.
Yeah, Jukovic has dropped back to fourth, behind Davison. Janet Parking's sitting at fifth. There's Yappy Malikson in sixth right now. And a bunch of cars that were up front early that are laps down now, kind of trying to make their way back up into the pack here. See, there's Marisha Vebelst. And there goes Stoneman to the inside on Yatica. For the lead, the 10 goes for it, and she will take it. To the front, Audie Stoneman.
I think Yatica is still just about there, though. Certainly not willing to give it up.
You know, look at it. Here's some of the cars that are laps down trying to make their way up towards the front to try and fight the leader to get a lap or two back. No, it still remains 12 cars on the lead lap. Stoneman in front of Yatica, then Zukovic, then Davison, then Parkings, then Koo, then Parkings. Bunch of lap cars. Then you get to Delade fighting with Malikson, Hamstrom, Barino. No, excuse me, it's Alicantes, then Barino. And Perry Alicantes was one of those cars who got the free pass. She's now driven her way into the top 10 alongside all of these other lap cars that she's kind of driving through the field with. Alice Jukovic starting to reel in the top 2. And there's
Stoneman is
Alicantes.
beginning to pull away just a little bit. Yeah, Alicantes again making a good move. Certainly taking advantage of that free pass and getting into fifth.
Already up to 5th. That's impressive for Perry Alicantes.
Absolutely. Delade is probably going to fall tonight, though, in the matter of a single lap. Well, 8th, but about to fall tonight behind Malikson.
And with Jocelyn and Nihale out, this is a great chance for Malikson to reel in that 64 in the points race. 30 came in at 30 points back of the 64. As they're going 4 wide here.
4 wide here.
Oh, Alicantes.
Almost 4 wide.
Alicantes is absolutely pushing the narrative. She gets up to 4th there with that move.
Not off using that was backing up, but now she's taking it 3 wide once again on the bottom.
I'm not sure that's a good move, but she got away with it.
Alcante is definitely taking no prisoners on these restarts here.
No, not at all.
Couple of lap cars to work through, though, to close up to Jukovic and the rest. And Yatica's right back on the bumper of Stoneman.
Yeah, the 92 is still there. Alicantes has really kind of driven up through pretty much everybody. She had to start at the tail end of the field for the free pass. She's up to 4th already, and she is closing on the leaders. Watch the gap as it goes 3 seconds, 3.08, 2.86. Gained about a 10th and a half there. Or no, she gained 2/10, excuse
Bear in
me.
mind, she also had to deal with a lap car, Brigantino as well, I believe. So could be
Yeah.
even more pace in that 18. And somewhat cleaner now, so we'll see what she can do here.
Yep, even more.
Couple more tenths. Quarter second.
10 kind of slipped up the track a little bit. Here comes Yatica looking. Taking a
That'll
look to the
further help
inside.
Alcante's close back in.
Yeah. Yatica gets the lead back. And Alacantes has made it the gap 2 seconds flat. She is on the move.
Stoneman's back though.
pulls a crossover.
Jukovic now in the mix as well. Contact off the corner. Certainly some thrilling racing up near the front as Galpica slides back up the track again. That's making Jukovic a chance.
Jukovic up to second. She's maneuvered past Yatica. Now Tabrizia Tolerone, a lap car, getting in the mix. Tolerone wants a lap back.
Alcantes, though, on rails, pretty much now in sight behind the leaders.
Yeah, she has them. I think the 18 may have... I know the 18 took tires. Here comes Jukovic looking to the inside. Alacantes up to third. She'll try and get past Yatica, and I believe she'll have it. And man, that 18 is flying.
Absolutely, that 15 is going to pass the 62 while Stoneman tries to block.
Now the 15 will get by the
Sets it back
10.
a little bit, though.
Gonna put the 93
Oh,
lap
it's 3
down.
wide now.
Oh, contact with the 62 in the lap car. She's really trying to push it.
Absolutely, top
Jukovic.
3 now, line astern pretty much.
Jukovic slides up. Here comes the 18 of Alacantes.
She looked in turn 4, but didn't quite make the move stick. Same thing down on 1 and 2.
Oh, they
no.
might. I thought they
62
might
is
go
sliding
3
back
wide.
up.
62 won't be able to battle the 10, and here comes the 18 of Perry Alacantes to second spot as she pushes Stoneman. And the car who was
It's like a checklist, this, for Alcantes.
Tolerone got past, which actually means Tolerone is on the lead lap now. And the 18 is clear. Perry Alacantes now out front in the lead. It took her, what, 20, 30 laps to get from the very back of the field to the very front.
Well, it's one thing to catch, it's another to pass, and now we'll see if the 18 can pull away now. Certainly very different things.
5th place right there is Arlen Handstrom. 9th place, Mimi Barino. 6th place is Bria Delade. Those are all the cars I know that took tires. '18 is starting to open up a little bit of a gap. And you know what Tabrizia Tolerone really wants right now is a caution, because that would for sure get her back on the lead lap, and would also bring the 96 of Rugatino on the lead lap, so she'd be cheering for a caution. Bracket battle. The only bracket battle remaining is the 9 at 71. It actually may get close here because the 71 is a lap down. The 9 is close to the end of the lead lap. So Abby Little may have a chance to battle for the bracket spot right now.
Well, Alcantes is definitely pulling away now, so that speed is very consistent across catching, passing, and definitely pulling away as well.
The 92 goes way wide in the corner. We're approaching halfway here from Richmond. Here's 7th place. Fight between Davison and Parkings. Oh, a car's blowing up on the apron. That's Valicia Vancy in the 1. I don't know if she's going to make it back. That may be a caution. Caution is out. And for Tolerone, what a break. She's back in the lead lap because of that. And what an unlucky break for Rugatino. They had just lapped the 9. And the 9 now gets the free pass.
Psycho Alcantes is going to come to the pits, as will at least some of the other leaders. Looks like most of the
Everybody else is coming in. There's Stoneman.
What's up with the 1?
Yeah, it looks like we're hearing that Valicia Vancy had some really serious engine issues. We're not really sure what the cause is yet, but I really think they're going to have to take her out.
Well, that's really tough.
Clearly.
Really bad for Vancy, especially considering she came into this race just 1 point back of the playoff cutoff line. Now, Garnston is out of the race, so she's already in position to jump the 27. However, the 10 is dragging herself in play here as now. So,
yeah, the 1 was already having a pretty bad day, and it just got even worse with the blown engine there. So, definitely some playoff implications, as you mentioned.
So Perry Alacantes leads. Stoneman, Yukovic, Yatsika, Handstrom, Delad, Parkings, Barino, Davison, Talbers in the top 10. Malixon and Tolerone. Malixon, Tolerone, and Carly Byrne are the other 3 cars on the lead lap at the moment. So, Alicantes will lead them to the green as we are on lap 192. We'll have 208 laps to go when we go back green.
Yep, almost halfway through this race, and what a half it's been.
So, pace car will pull off this lap. And we'll see if Alicantes can keep up that speed that she had to get to the lead, or if maybe somebody like Stoneman will fight her off. Green flag. Back to green.
Solid jump for Alicantes.
Here comes Stoneman,
Stoneman
though.
is able to keep up, though, and she's going to go for the lead. Stoneman clearly down the inside in turn number 4, and she is clear. New leader number 10.
10 car back out front. Here comes Yatica. Here comes Bria Delot on the 55. Looking for second. Taking them 3 wide. They're on 4 wide. Oh, the 62.
Well. Oh, no.
Oh, around goes Jukovic. Spinning around across the whole field. Caution is right back out.
And that about Alicantes, what a shame.
Oh, the 39 is coming down pit road with a blown engine.
Tell you what, there's a little bit to dissect, but we know that 4 wide is not possible down in turn 2.
No, you don't want to go 4 wide.
Well, that worked out for Gatino, though. Made up for the unfortunate timing of the previous caution.
Yep, that will give the 96 the free pass. Ellie.
Yeah, we're hearing that it looks like the camshaft on the 39 car is what ended up having her go down pit road.
Let's take another look
Definitely
here.
caused by all that damage as we see them go 4 wide. Delot is the one who takes it in. But it's all
Oh, they were 4 wide. Oh, parking's... Jukovic backs it into the wall. She spins across the whole track.
As well with Tilperon involved.
I believe Talberson was... Oh my god, okay.
Ah. Brilliant.
Alright. Well, on that bombshell...
It's time to end. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week.
On that bombshell, we're going to take you to... our FanDuel Fan Studio mid-race report here. From here from Richmond, we'll have Rashinelli take it away for you two as we get things reset as the track, as we are under the red flag right now for track cleanup after that.
Yep. Welcome back to the FanDuel Fan Studio here. We're here for the mid-race report, and what an eventful way to have it happen here. A bit of a real mess occurring on track right now. We're currently red flagged for what appears to be obscene amounts of debris on track after that incident. And notably on top of that, the 39 spewing oil all over the track probably doesn't help. It's a bit of a mess out there, so we're gonna have to spend time cleaning up the track for everyone here. But yeah, we've had an eventful first half of the race. A couple of longer green flag runs, a few short runs, and and a few incidents along the way as well. It's got a bit of everything today here. So yeah, once again joined again by Ellie. What do you think of the race so far? It's been a bit of a show. It's been a bit of a show, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a really great show from what we've seen until I don't know, why did they do that exactly?
I don't know. They went 4 wide, and that's typically not a good idea, especially off of 1 and 2. You just do not want to do that. 3 wide at this. 3 wide out of 1 and 2 is inadvisable. 4 wide seems like a little much.
Yeah, do not let them cook again. I don't think that was the greatest idea. But I mean, outside of that, we've had some really great racing. I think I'm gonna be honest. Some of the long green flag runs have been really, really enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, looking at the standings right now, I believe it'll be the 10 of Audi Stoneman, 55 of Brio DeLon, 92 of Mikhail Yatka, 22 of Andrea Davison, and 23 of Yappy Malix in your top 5. Roughly there. Then it'll be Parkings, Handstrom, Alacantes, Perino, and there's one more, a couple of other cars. It's the 62 and the 9, I think, are the last 2 cars on the lead lap. I'll double check there. It's 11 cars on the lead lap. Yeah, it'll be Yukovic and really Carly Byrne. Okay, on the lead lap there, I think. But yeah, a bit of a mess there that we'll have to clean up right now. So we'll see what happened. We just obviously also saw the 39 blowing up. That was another a separate thing that happened. I think that happened on the front stretch before they wrecked, which caused yet another bottle up. Yeah, we're just gonna have to see there. It's quite a lot of action in that last couple of laps alone.
Yeah, that was something. It was really something to witness. I don't know what that thing was, but it was something.
Yeah.
I don't think it was very smart, but it's creating for an interesting kind of dynamic here now that we're in the red.
Mhm. Yeah. So obviously that's gonna shake things up a bit. There was a lot of things happening. There were a lot of things happening there, but we'll start at the beginning of the race. It's been a bit of a red racing show. At least all the three cars on the lead lap have been pretty exceptional. The 10, 22, and 23. The 3 of them have been kind of trading the lead back and forth with a few other cars. But I think the red racing cars have kind of been the story of the day here. Run really well.
Yeah, Stoneman has been running really great too. Really great. I've honestly been really impressed with how she's been running today. She definitely wants to make up those points or go for the win, I think. I wouldn't be surprised if she did win, but
yeah, I was gonna say totally possible for her just to win out.
Yeah, Bioxen's been running great too, but also Alacantes was really fast before we had that massive crash. She was so fast.
Yeah.
Drivers,
should be fairly quick as well. Yatka as well. Michele Yataka's another surprise package. She's been running in the top 5 for most of the way here. The first half of the race. So 92 is another one of those cars that looking to win in. Right now sitting 28th in points. Also in the in-season tournament still. So 92 is another driver to look out for. I think that car looks pretty quick as well.
Yeah, we've got an interesting field here. I mean, Yatka, I haven't really been paying too much attention to her in the past few races or so. And she's kind of just been driving really fast this race.
Yeah. I mean, coming off of a 11th place finish at Yatka, that was her last finish at Iowa, ran fairly well in that race as well, of course. So we'll just have to see what happens. We'll just have to see what happened. What happens in the second half of the race? Obviously, with this big reset, lots of cars are going to be able to do a lot of work on their cars. So that's going to effectively going to kind of re-roll everyone's performance a little bit.
Yeah,
that's probably going to change things up potentially.
I think that's going to be a big thing here. Is that everybody's getting to work on their cars.
Yeah. Since everyone's able to work on their cars here and fix up any damage that they have, that's going to obviously change a lot of the dynamic in this race, and some of those cars that were maybe a lap or two down might be able to recover a bit here because they're gonna have a decently undamaged car now.
Yeah, and that's what we're gonna have to look out for. I mean, Abby Little was is still in contention for that bracket match off. So with this red flag and getting to work on her car, what do you think's gonna happen with all of the bracket matchups here that we at least still have in contention for this race?
Well, I mean, looking at it, there's only two? Is it two or one?
Two, maybe one. One.
I think just one, right?
Yeah, it's just Abby Little.
Yeah.
Who do you think's gonna win that one out?
I mean, right now, let's see here. The 71 and 9, right? I was leaning towards. I would say I would lean toward the 71 earlier, but now the 9's gonna be able to fix up her car.
Right.
So that's gonna really. I think that's going to change the dynamic now. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna tilt things in favor of the 9 now, who has better. Who I think had better track position, being on the late lap despite not having front end. And that, being the remaining battle, really. I think Byrne has the advantage right now, but also we'll just have to see. Lots of racing left to go. We know we know that the potential for a long run is there, which is also something to keep in mind, I think.
Yeah, there is potential for that long run, and that is definitely something to keep in mind because Abby Little is also a driver that does kind of appear out of nowhere in the long run. The thing here is that Carly Byrne usually is a bit faster, at least on her better days. So I think we'll have to really pay attention to how fast Carly Byrne is running and how much Little is catching up because, well, both of these drivers have gotten to work on their cars, and Carly Byrne was already running really well with some damage, so with less damage on her car now, that's really going to definitely give her an advantage. I agree with you there.
Yeah. Now that everyone's kind of... Now that I think everyone else is... To be fair, everyone's going to get at least one of their laps back, so that, I think, puts the 71 back on the lead lap, so... She was running a lap down before, so that's something else to keep in mind, is that...
Yeah, she's now on the lead lap.
Obviously going to start behind the 9, and the 9's going to have her damage fixed up, so that's going to make it a competitive battle again, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's going to make it a really fun battle as well, honestly.
Yeah. Let's see. What else is there to talk about? Pit strategy. Pit strategy is probably going to be an important part in the second half of the race. And with that in mind, obviously, can't really predict the future here. But given that we tend to have some form of long run in this race.
Drivers,
We had a few in the first half of this race already. We still have just about 200 laps to go, so that's definitely something to think about. Of course, with these cars all, with these cars all kind of, these teams are now thinking about what the next approximately 200 laps of the race is going to look like.
Well, here's the thing we gotta kind of assess here, right? Let's say we get another caution. That does kind of cut down how many more green flag stops we can get, because what is the fuel, what's the fuel,
A fuel situation?
Yes, the fuel situation. How long can they go without refueling?
Say for 100 laps, so I don't think that's going to be a concern. Fuel won't be too big of a concern. It'll be the tires that'll be the... The tires will be the what do you call it? So the limiting factor here. That's going to be the thing that what do you call it? That these drivers are going to be thinking of, that these teams are going to be thinking about. It's going to be tire strategy. We saw that more or less in the Continental race as well. So that's what I would expect. That's what I would expect these teams to be thinking about the most. When it comes to fuel, it's just a matter of refueling at the right time when you need to take tires, basically.
Yeah, and this, how Richmond played out in Continental yesterday, if we get a green flag stop or a yellow stop anywhere near the end of the race, that's where we're going to have to really pay attention to see who benefits from that stop. Because whoever benefits from that stop might be able to just win it out right there. Especially if it's close to the way end of the race, like let's say 30, 40 laps left. That's going to be a really competitive and tight race there, especially if somebody starts taking it away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cars are starting to just roll out again here. We're going to get we are, of course, going to get a single file restart once again. Cars, with the restart protocol, cars are also going to get an opportunity to come in here and get additional service if they need it. So that's also going to shake the field running order up a little bit. Now we have the 55, 10, 72, 18, and 92 as your top 5. And you see there the 9 of Carly Burton sitting in 9th place. Never mind, the 55 is coming in. So the 55 will actually relinquish her spot at the front of the field. Give it to Audie Stoneman. That'll move everyone else up one position. But yeah, with that in mind, what do you look? I guess this is a bit of a weird edition of the fan pick segment because we haven't. These cars are a lot of these cars are fresh with a bunch of changes to the cars, the car setup. So they've obviously been able to make changes to the car that weren't possible in a regular pit stop scenario without them losing too much time. So lots of unknowns here. What do you think is going to happen, and who you got?
Well, getting to work on your car, that's one thing, but kind of changing overall race pace and momentum throughout the entire race, I'm not sure you can change that too much, given, I mean, we've seen kind of Audie Stoneman take it away, as well as Perry Alacantes. I think those two are going to be some of the front runners here, as well as, I would say maybe the 72? She's been pretty decent.
Yeah, I could see that. Parking's kind of was kind of climbing up in the field in the first half of the race. Find yourself in 2nd place now, so I think that's also another safe bet to take. That 72 looks pretty quick. She does have good short track experience, so it's definitely a driver to look out for. Let's see here, going with the field. Everything's brand new right now, so the 60 here is going to get waved around. 38 as well. A couple cars here. A couple of lap cars, I should say.
But yeah, everything is new here, but I still think we're gonna have some front runners who have been doing really well the entire time, and I think it's gonna be between Stoneman and Alacantes, and if I have to pick between the two, I think it might actually be Stoneman.
Audie Stoneman in the 10. That's a good pick. She is currently leading the way. Was holding her own very well with a slightly damaged car earlier on, so that's definitely not a bad bet to go with. I think that's a Red Racing as a whole has looked really good, and that 10 car now with additional damage repair is definitely setting up to be a good contender. I am gonna go with the number 92 of Michele Yatka sitting in 5th place right now. That's another one of these drivers that's looked quick in the first half of the race, climbed up to the top 5, and sorry about that. Yeah, looking at the 92, Michele Yatka running in the top 5 right now. Looks strong in the first half of the race. We'll see what adjustments she made for the second half of the race. But yeah, I think the 92, that in-rush racing car looks pretty quick. And Audie Stoneman in the 10 gets a good jump here.
Really great jump.
Yep. Pulling away from Parkings already. That's put the 72 under threat from the 18, more or less.
Yeah, I think the 18 is going to try and pass.
The 92 to make moves. All of the top 5 looking at potentially making moves here. As we'll get our scoring adjusted here. Get everyone in the right lap.
Yeah, look at the 18. She is flying just to pass Parkings.
Alacantes looking to the inside of Parkings. Easy pass there. Cleared for 2nd. Lots of action back in the second half of the field as well. Lots of stuff going on there. I see the 3. You know, another driver who looked really strong in the first half of the race, entering the top 10 here. With the 99 with a lap down behind her, ahead of her, I should say. See what the 18 does here.
She is picking up.
3 wide in the middle of the top 10s. It's Parking's Carly Byrne and McKelly Yatica Byrne trying to get as much
Gotta
space
be
between.
careful there.
Yeah, trying to get as much space between her and the 71 of Abby Little. Careful, careful. Whoa! 19 and 93 got into each other, doored each other a little bit there. 72 running well wide. That's going to lose her a lot of spots and then drop her to the edge of the top 10 here. By the 99 and 96, the 96 sitting in 10th. 17 coming out of field plan, I think. That's actually going to hurt the 18. That's going to hurt the 18 of Alacantes.
Ooh.
She's got to quit quickly. There she goes.
She's doing it.
Yeah. Here comes the 8 of Schliesenbach and the 9 of Carly Byrne. Another car looking really quick off the bat here. 9 car. And the Schliesenbach as well. That's another driver who's kind of sitting there and thereabouts in the playoff race. I believe she is in 19th place. Yeah, 19th place, 36 below the cut line. A good run here would keep her hopes alive at least. A win here would, of course, secure that spot. But same can be said about the 9 of Carly Byrne.
The 10 is just really fast.
Yeah, 10 of Stoneman looks particularly quick as well. Definitely not lost a step just yet.
Carly Byrne's all the way up to 3rd already.
Yeah, quick start here. Follows Yukovic, looking, a bit loose on exit.
A bit loose, but didn't cause
But
anything, thankfully.
But all good, yeah. Managed to get away from it there. That 62 looked like really loose on exit.
I feel like the 3 car is now already in the top 10 again.
Yeah, Marino fell back a little bit there.
71 just outside.
Stop. There's the 71.
She's picked up.
She's picked up, yep. 71 is in 12th. 9 is up to 3rd, obviously. So both cars making up ground already. The 71 has significantly more ground to make up. Lots of cars to make up in the midfield. 46 just brushes the wall a little bit
Looks
there.
pretty decent, though.
Yatica clearing Schliesenbach for 4th. No changes up front, though. The top 3 are all... Top 3? Oh, sorry. Yukovic in the 62. Top 3, I should say. Oh, running off here. Yukovic in 4th, trying to chase him down.
And there's the 71, right behind Verino now.
Fields pretty much calmed down now. Comes Arenia Tosaman. That's another driver that was that's still a few laps down, actually.
Interesting to see her a few laps down. She's usually always up front.
Yeah, Tosaman had a few problems in the middle of the race that put her a few laps down, but now getting one of her laps back, trying to get another one. Looking to be an aggressive move on the inside of Andrea Davison.
She tried it.
These two were fighting for the lead earlier in the race, but right now both of them kind of bottled up in the edge of the top 10. Barrino's definitely my wild card pick for this race win, I think. That's a driver who's been exceptional at the short track. So the 18 of Alacantes looks to the inside of Stoneman. A really good move by the 18 already, and the move already sealed on the exit of turn 2 there. You leader 18. Watch out for the 9 of Carly Byrne as well.
Oh, and the 10 is trying.
Bumper, trying to get that position back immediately. But she's got to work. But she's got to look out for the 9 of Carly Byrne, who are inside now, side by side for 2nd. As Alacantes is going to start driving away now. Byrne uses the slide job, tries to get it, and just about clears now.
Just about clears, but if Stoner wants to get that position back, she's going to have to run low.
Gotta defend from Yukovic, though. Lots of cars.
Yeah, she's already getting Yukovic on her.
Yeah, there's a lot of cars moving up here. Alacantes just maintaining the gap over the 9. Really good showing here from the 9 of Carly Byrne. Looking at field now, though, 18, 9, 62. We got 10 and 8 your top 5. Angeli Rugatino, that's another driver moving up. Last week's winner at Iowa, also running in the top, looking to get into the top 5 here. You see her running side by side with Schliesenbach. just a few positions back. We'll get a C, and it's already cleared there. That'll move her up to 5th place. Car just kind of biding her time right now, not really trying to be too aggressive, but the 62 is going to have, 62 might be under attack from the 10 very soon here.
Yeah, the 10 is just running right under her.
By the way, look who's re-entered the top 10, the 31 of Taylor Happeman in the Ozark car. Interesting to see there. Alright, and with that, I think it's finally time to return, to bring things back to the booth here. Neko and Madison are once again ready to take the reins for the rest of the race. And with that, we'll see you around. We'll see you at the end of the race, definitely. And hope you enjoy the rest of the race with us.
Madison, do you have a FanDuel fan pick here?
I'm going to be interesting and say Rigatino goes back-to-back here. Certainly took advantage of that caution and has been using it. And going to pass Stillman maybe now for 4th. But, yeah, I think Rigatino can go back-to-back. She kind of came from nowhere to the end of the Iowa race and could do the same thing here.
I'm going to go out of the box here, and I'm going to take Yappy Malix into the 23. She's been fast all year. She's battling for that points lead spot. She's been really good on pretty much every kind of track we've been to. I think Yappy Malixon finally breaks that winless streak. She wins this race here. And on that bombshell, welcome back to Richmond. We had a bit of a red flag.
It is not time to end.
We had a bit of a clean-up situation, and a fair few cars got back on the lead lap. Happeman, Schliesenbach, Janiga, and Little all got back in the lead lap. Vebels, AWSCO, Ku, Gennaro are up to 1 lap down. Reister and Harino got to 2 laps down, and Tosima got to 3 laps down. Then a few of those cars took the wave around on the previous caution. Then a few of those cars took the wave around post red flag to get either back in the lead lap or to 1 lap down. Which is why Gennaro is on the lead lap. That's why Ku is on the lead lap. And that's why AWSCO is also on the lead lap right now. With the red flag, everyone automatically gets a lap back. And here comes Rigatino in the 96. She's up to 3rd. And having this...
And really closing in now.
Having this track and Iowa, back-to-back, kind of feels fitting. You kind of got 2 of these tracks. You got Iowa, the new track, and then Richmond, which is the Unk version of Iowa, basically. Yumi Barrino is still sitting in 9th. Run up towards the front all day. She manages to pass Janet Barkings, but now she's being challenged by Taylor Happeman. Taylor Happeman would be seeking her 2nd consecutive top 10 after not having one. Well, last week she got her first one since Texas. Which was the race that she won. See, there's Abby Little. And Rigatino now starting to close in on Carly Byrne for 2nd spot. Perry Alacante's out front right now. in the 18 car.
Certainly looks like Rugatino could make her move any minute now. Just about on the rear bumper of the 9 car through turns 3 and 4.
She's trailing the 9 car, pressuring her quite a bit here. But no move quite yet. Larry Schliesenbach, also big benefactor. She got back on the lead lap because of the red flag. And then she stayed out after the red flag was lifted. So now Schliesenbach is got up to the top 10. She actually was up in second for a little bit, although she's now dropped back to 6th. Adi Stoneman, 5th place right now. And again, with the way that things are, Alicantes is leading. If Alicantes wins this race, that means that we will be assured at least 1 point spot in the playoffs. That's pretty much the case if we have any repeat winner here. But if Alicantes or Rugatino or Jukovic or Happeman or Dalad go to victory lane, then that's what will happen. Now, if somebody like Carly Byrne comes in and wins, then that changes it. Then that will change the playoff picture quite a bit, because that would put Nihil and Malixon as the top 2. And that last playoff spot that's currently being battled for would stop being a battle. They'd all have to catch up to the 64 and 23, who are quite a ways ahead in the point standings. Rugatino still pressuring Carly Byrne here. Had a pretty good long green run since the red flag was lifted. See there, the 71 battling the 22. And Rugatino still kind of just stuck behind Carly Byrne right now.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit on Alicantes, though. They closed in about a 10th that last time.
Wouldn't it be something
And another 10th here.
Wouldn't it be something if Rugatino went to victory lane here?
Well, she was my Fanzo fan pick, so I would not complain. Still seems not to be able to get 5 per second, though, and you don't take the lead like that.
She'd be the 4th driver this year to do back-to-back wins, if she were able to pull that off. Compared this to Continental, where we haven't had a single driver go back-to-back. Angeli Rugatino sitting in 3rd spot right now She's just kind of waiting behind that 9 car, trying to get the spot when she can. They're staying a pretty consistent distance from the 18. They're not making it up, and that's something that they really need to do. And I think Rugatino's faster than Carly Byrne.
I agree, but really not that much faster since she can't get by. We talked about how catching and passing are two very different things, and, well, this is just probably the best proof of that we've had tonight.
With everybody on the same tires and everybody in kind of the same boat strategy-wise, I would be curious to see how this race ends up finishing out. Rugatino still sitting back in third. Alicantes leads by half a second, but Carly Byrne is reeling her in. Remember how solid Carly Byrne was last week in Iowa. She's right on that track again. Looking to give Evans Ross Racing their 8th win of the season. And she's the only driver from the ERR stable that has not gone to victory lane.
Well, Byrne is definitely pulling away a little bit now from Rugatino and is now only about 4 tenths behind Alcante, so definitely a gradual closing in, and I expect maybe within the next 10 laps at this rate we could have a fight for the lead.
Not a great exit there, though.
Back in, though.
I said not a great exit, but she actually held pretty close. Just Rugatino's there with her.
Yeah, that was more so just brilliance from Rugatino than anything. And now Rugatino's finding that speed, still not able to make a pass just yet in 3 and 4.
Byrne's just doing a really good job sealing off the bottom. Carly Byrne trying to hang on. Here comes the 96, though. She slid up, and that's Rugatino's chance. The 96 will finally get by.
And she'll be clear. Well, now I guess we'll see how Rugatino can close in on Alcantes, if she can. Because we saw Byrne sort of could, but also couldn't.
And now the battle might be on between the 96 and 18. There's the 10 of Audie Stoneman still sitting in 5th. 23 and 8 fighting for 6th right now. Taylor Happeman's taken 8th away from Bria DeLaud. Amy Marino's really dropped back. She's sitting back in 15th. You know, if anybody is really an Austin Dillon kind of winner here, who do you think it would be?
Gosh, that's a tough one. I personally wouldn't want to put that label on anyone, but maybe Byrne? I don't know. She hasn't had a win yet this year, so maybe that best fits the bill among those with a real shot to win.
I was going to say Mimi Barrino, because she looked very strong and looked fast in this one, but she's really kind of slid back.
As for the top two, it looks like Rugatino wasn't really closing in that much on Alcantes at first, but now she's starting to reel her in at this stage. Just 3 tenths back now.
She's getting there. Drove it in real deep that time, though.
even for driving that deep, she really didn't lose that much time. So that 96 is clearly quick. It's just reeling it in and nailing those consistent lap times. I think that was quite a bit more costly, though.
Yeah. And again, that bracket battle between the 9 and the 71. The 71's back in 11th, the 9 is 3rd. Everybody else is set up. We're just waiting to see whether Carly Byrne or Abby Little will have the advantage for that 4th matchup, and then we will get into the semifinals. We could very well see an ERR teammate battle between Carly Byrne and Marisha Vebelst. We also could see Vebelst go against the upset champion so far, Abby Little, who in the 32nd seed has advanced all this way already.
Brigantino's not really substantially closing into Alcantes, but Byrne is dropping back.
Well, you say that, and she just gained 2/10.
Yeah, she wasn't closing in significantly up until that point, but now runs wide again and loses pretty much all that progress. But the 9, as I was going to mention, wasn't really sticking with the 96 all that much, and now Jukovic is really closing in more.
Yeah, Jukovic is starting to drag herself up here. Top 4 all within about a second and a half. And then you have to go about 5 seconds back to find Audie Stoneman, the 5th place car. And another 2 seconds to get to Yappy Malikson in 6th. Fight for 9th maybe on our hands. There's Taylor Happerman and Janet Parkings. Brigantino is starting to close up. I think Rugatino's been trying to use the outside a little bit when she can, but it just hasn't worked out. I think it worked a little better for her against the 9 car, but the 18 is just a little bit faster, and she's just not really able to nail down consistently faster times than the 18. Alicantes already has a win this season. She won back in Denver. They both go wide that time. And if Alicantes hangs on, she would be the 8th driver to have multiple wins this season. If Rugatino wins this race, then it would just be 7. And there goes Schliesenbach, really slid up the track. She's going to lose a couple spots there, lost to one to Delade. Now Abby Little starting to reel in Janet Parkings here. And the clutches of 10th. But right now, Rugatino is just kind of hanging back a little bit. She's just not really been able to get to the 18.
Yeah, I think she's clearly faster than the 18. It's just, once she does close into about 3/10 or so, just drifts up the track and loses pretty much whatever she made up. Byrne definitely not in the picture as much, and
The 9's kind of...
Thankfully not.
9's kind of out of the picture now, at least for now. But now we've gone green for so long, I think we may start to see green flag pit stops play a factor here.
Definitely, and with 120 or so laps to go, that could make things very interesting toward the end of the race. Do you try and run long? Do you maybe make an extra pit stop and hope for fresher tires? What do you do? I'm not the crew chief.
Well, I don't think the tires have worn out that much for making an extra stop to matter that much.
That is true. There isn't as much tire wear as I was expecting here at Richmond, although there definitely is more than at Iowa.
Oh, here comes the 96. Oh, wow, she got there, and she goes to the inside.
Making the move now.
Oh,
and not quite clear into...
Not clear. 18 got the momentum off, but the 96 is still going to be to the inside. Angel Irugutino trying to take the lead, and she does it. To the front goes the 96.
Right when we were thinking maybe she's going to stagnate behind the 18, and that is a move done. Alcante is definitely finding.
Here comes the 18, though. She's trying to take it back.
Down the inside in 3 and 4. And she's clear for the lead once again.
No, she's not clear yet. Well, now she is.
She is clear now.
The more these two battle, though, that's going to drag the 9 car back in.
You can see it. You can see the 9 closing in at this rate. Now just 9/10 behind Alcante.
There has not been a single driver who has won a race this year from the pole. In the Cup Series. That's obviously different in Continental, but we're counting Cup only here. Rugutino started on the pole this race. Now she sits in second, trying to get that win to go back-to-back and show that she controls these kind of tracks. But Perry Alicantes is not letting her have all of that.
Definitely not, I'm afraid, at this rate for Brigantino. It could be back to that Sisyphean close in, lose some ground on the track, and then close back in again. Of course, there was that battle for the lead that we saw, but before that, it was just close up, lose ground again, and then so on and so forth. Sticking with the 18, though.
She's there right now. She's just got to kind of hope that the 18 kind of gets out of shape, or maybe just try and take a dive bomb. '18 slides up just a bit. Kelly Otic all the way back to last car on the lead lap now in the 92. That's tough for her because she was up front for quite a while. Abby Little has moved up to 10th. She's gotten past Janet Parkins, so 71 car. Again, trying to make up as much ground as she can, especially for that bracket race. But her competitor, Carly Burns, still sits in third. Rugutino's all over the 18, but once again, not really able to get close enough to make that move. Angeli Rugatino still trying to pressure that 18. Meanwhile, you go a little further back. Well, this is what everything looks like back here. There's Parking's, Davison, Wesco. But now it's going to start to be more of, so I'm going to start wondering, when do we see cars come in for pit stops? When do we see that last stop be made? They have about a 100-lap fuel window. So if they pit on exactly lap 100, theoretically, that would make this a could make this a one-stop race, but it also could make it a fuel mileage race.
It definitely could, and that would certainly give these AWSCO drivers a concept that they're a little bit unfamiliar with, and that's saving their stuff. And we haven't had a full set of green flag pit stops yet, as far as I remember, so this would be new. This is mostly speculative.
We did have a green flag set. We did have green flag stops yesterday in the Continental race in the final run. And that was a big reason as to why Hideyoko was able to pull away so far and get the win. She just nailed the pit stops and made it count. Now Angeli Rugatino all over the back bump of the 18. It's going to come down to what these two do pit cycle wise, or it might come down to the 18 slipping to the outside and letting the 96 look underneath into the turn 3.
96 car, I think, will be clear off turn 4, and new leader 96.
Rugatino out front. We may see a fight for third brewing here, as there's Halis Jukovic and Carly Byrne. And Perry Alicante is closing right back up to the 96 here. It's not over between these two. These two may have a generational fight for the win.
Absolutely. And as for who's going to end up out front after the pit cycles are done, I'm not sure which would be superior, the undercut or the overcut. I think the undercut, because we haven't had much tire wear at this rate.
There's enough tire wear for the undercut to matter. If you look at their lap times, they're still about a second. They lose about a second and a half to their fast laps. So the undercut is definitely stronger. We saw that yesterday.
Definitely. So it's a matter of who blinks first. And it could be any minute now as we reach 102 to go.
These cars are starting to close up on lap traffic now. Yatica and Handstrom. Alicante's really slips wide. $100 laps to go from Richmond. Kind of just explore the field a little bit. Abby Little is up to 9th now in the 71 car. If they can go this far on fuel, they very likely can make it to the end.
Yeah, I was about to remark, if we don't get any pit stops for the next few laps, then fuel should not be a problem at the end. And here's Rigatino closing in significantly on Yatica now in the 92. Was pulling away from the 18 quite a bit. And we'll see how this works out.
lap car is a factor.
And Riccatino has disposed of the 92, only lost about a tenth there to Alcantes. Now we'll see what the 18 can do in a few laps.
Breathed a lot on the 55. Again, I mentioned this earlier, but she has not had a top 10 since she won at Mexico City about 10 races ago. So, she's been on a bit of a top 10 drought. But this will be a good race. This will be a good way for her to get back in. Right now, it's between two drivers that have already won races this season.
Definitely, and Riccatino has been very efficient through the lap traffic, even gaining time against Alcantes in the process. As you see Alcantes running very wide, the ergonomics of those lap cars not working very well for the 18.
She's just been catching them at very bad spots. Meanwhile, Rigatino's pretty well.
Going to try on Yannicka back there.
Rigatino's cleared everybody. And she's brought the gap up to 1.11 seconds. Nobody is on pit road yet, so I believe we're not going to have really that many issues with fuel. The Abby Little fans out there, she's closing up on Schliesenbach now for the 8th position, but she still has a bit of a ways to go to get to the 9 car. For Rigatino, it was kind of something people were not sure she should have kept that automatic win eligibility after Calder Park, where she failed post-race tech. But she proved that she's still very fast, very strong. By winning last week in Iowa, and she may prove it again. She can hang on to this one. Alicante still continues to struggle to get through the lappers.
In fact, it looks like the lap car racer is going to get into the inside of Alcantes there and maybe, well, not quite harass the 18 a little bit more, but certainly threaten to do so.
Well, the 17 is one of those cars that's up to pace.
Gap at this point is now 1.7 seconds between the 96 and the 18. So we have 86 laps to go now.
I did not realize they'd be able to go this far on fuel. But I have a feeling we might not be saying they're going to go this far on fuel for very much longer because they keep going further and further and further into the window. If I'm one of these cars that's trying to make up positions, what do you think you should do here? Undercut or overcut? Undercut gives you the fresh tires in the short term, but it doesn't give you the fresh tires in the long term. That's the thing between the undercut and overcut.
Well, you were so insistent earlier about the undercut, and as this run gets shorter and shorter, the overcut has so much less justification to it because that relies on a really long run near the end, maybe one that's just as long as the previous run where you do have to save. But now we're seeing that this run is well over 100 laps, and this run here could be less than 80 laps the next one, so I don't think there's any good logic behind an overcut. You must blink first. The question is when.
Honestly, I'm not sure. See, my thought here is maybe you want to come in around the middle of the cycle instead of not at the end or the beginning. Maybe you want to try and wait for the cycle to start, come in, kind of blink between everybody else.
Yeah, I do think that going exceptionally early, as you said, could lead to problems, but I think being late on the call is a much, much worse mistake because you are on older tires on the racetrack while the other drivers are getting their tires up to heat. So you'll definitely lose more time during that phase than you would, say, being in a little bit early and losing time very late in the race, which could be maybe a tenth or two compared to the other cars that went mid-cycle. Tell you what, the Rigatino is flying away. We have 80 to go, and she's nearly 3 seconds ahead of the 18.
She's driving away, not withstanding the other cars really kind of helping her as we see the 19 come down pit road. 62 going to be the first lead lap car to dive down.
Bevelston.
23 is in as well. 96 still out there. Alcantes also chooses to stay out there. Mihalis Jukovic is going with the early move. Davison is in here in the 22. 46 of Yanaga is also in. 71 is coming in early. Oh, here comes the 96 and the 18. The 9 car is choosing to stay out, Carly Byrne. Now Byrne stayed out an extra lap and she'll come in. Bria DeLade is in. Same for Stoneman. Schliesenbach. And yeah, pit road very busy right now. There's parkings in Brino.
So the 96 and the 18 are out on track right now. And
Yep.
I'd like to see maybe what the gap is between them at this rate, which I imagine we will see before long, but I wonder, did the 18 actually close in that much? Because I don't think so. Might have actually lost some.
It's about the same.
96, it is about the same. They did pit, I think, at pretty similar times, though. And even then, Rigatino had, what, a 3-second lead? So that, like, a bad pit stop would definitely hurt it, but not nearly as much as, say, if the lead were a lot closer. So a bit less pressure on the call. And I think lap cars will definitely play a lot more of a role than tires will.
Mihalis Jukovic has gone to third. Reister down pit road, trying to last as long as she could to get a caution, but unable to get one.
Tell you what though, Alcantes has closed in. Now
She
just
has
1.6
gained quite a
seconds
bit.
behind.
I wonder if the 18's better here on the short runs. Didn't gain much that time, but she did not lose very much either. And their lap car's kind of getting in the way of the 96 here. And you know the kind of thing that would change a lot is if a caution comes out.
Definitely, we haven't had a caution since that red flag.
Yep.
So definitely, very long green flag run, longest of the night actually. And so you see Yannicka here, sort of bullying the 96 a little bit, trying to get back on the lead lap, I believe.
You think these drivers have learned their lesson?
Well, it's not after we get a red flag, so I think now they have, which is saying a lot for AWSCO drivers.
Yeah,
I
they're
suppose
not-
winning to them is a little bit like pineapple is to pizza for some people.
Hey, pineapple on pizza is good.
Some would disagree, hence why I said to some people. Obviously not everyone. But tell you what, Alcantes is closing in mightily now, moving up by parkings there significantly, and Rigatino.
Yeah,
Now
but
nothing
parking's
separating
just
Alcantes
crossed
from her.
the 18 over.
Yeah, parking's is back. Happman might be back.
Oof. Alicantes is stuck now on the top lane. That was not good for the 18. I know who's closing in because of that. That's the 62 of Jukovic. Before long, we may see the 62 up here.
We could, and now that's a very real battle for second. I was thinking maybe Alcantes could come back and retake the lead, but no, not right now. 65 to go as well, so time is really ticking for everyone.
Time is ticking, and Jukovic has grabbed second. Mimi Marino now a lap down. Meanwhile, there's fifth place. Andrea Davison and Yappy Malikson fighting. "14 cars on the lead lap as things stand.
Brigatino once again pulling away here. This last lap it was 2.3 seconds a gap, and this
Yeah,
went
but-
by as we see Jukovic in second. Yeah,
Keep
the
in
lap
mi-
cars you mentioned, but still pulling away.
Yeah, there's lap cars in the way here. And also there's the fact that the 62 and 18 were battling for a good bit.
Yeah, that is true, but they're not battling right now, and Jukovic still isn't closing on the lap cars ahead. So I think there is some merit to say that Rigatino is in fact faster, even regardless.
know.
But she did gain a 10th there to Jukovic.
Jukovic gained that time. And this isn't as insurmountable as, say, the gap was when Yoko was leading yesterday. Oh, Jukovic goes well wide, and Alicantes takes the spot back. But again, that's going to cost them more time.
That is true, and there's 60 to go, so time is, again, as we just said, definitely ticking, and I think that to really catch and pass Rigatino, you should probably be getting more time now than you are if you're Jukovic or Alicantes.
Well, we'll see what Alicantes can
Two
do.
tenths, though.
If Alicantes can negotiate the lap traffic and get to the 96, I think it may end up being a very strong battle for the 18. Again, held up in lap traffic, but she did not lose very much. She actually gained a 100th of a second there. Gonna have to be careful negotiating the lap cars. But she very well could get
Well,
there.
she has repassed parkings convincingly.
Got past
and
parkings,
Bergantino
gained
right now is second
gained
behind
while
Yaka.
doing it. She gained time while passing the
Yaka.
72.
Yannicka isn't slow, but Brigantino isn't passing her, so I think that says something about the 96 car, while Alcantes is finally locking in and starting to pass some of these other cars.
Not much of a
Yep, so
not
it's
much of a
before.
gain that time, but she slid up and still managed to not lose too much time.
Brigantino finally passing Yannicka for position. Well, for position, for track position.
For track position, yeah. '18 still gaining. If the bracket matchup between the 71 and 9 is going to come down to it, Little's going to have to make up 10 seconds. I'm not sure that's doable.
Well, a yellow changes everything, but with 55 to go, you're basically daylight and a dollar short of it still goes green. As here's Alcantes approaching the
Oh, Yatica just
51,
dove
but here comes
underneath the
Yannicka fighting
96.
back to retake that track spot.
That's going to help the 18. And here comes Arlen Handstrom.
Up to 18 a lot, and yeah, Handstrom is there as well.
How about
Not able to
now?
make the dive just yet, but very well could.
Keep in mind, Handstrom is Alicantes' teammate. That could be a big help if she throws a wrench in things, and she's gonna try to do it. Not able
Yeah,
to
she
do
was
so.
there momentarily.
Not
May
able to
still
do
be
so
able to
right
make the move off
now.
this corner here.
Down to 1.3 seconds.
Less than a second and a half the gap.
We may have a race on our hands.
Definitely second and change back to the 18, and if Rigatino still gets bullied a bit by these lap cars while Alcantes continues to pass, well, we know what happens.
1.13 now. Happy Malikson, I think, came in early, but she's paying the price for it now. Slid back to 7th. See a fight here for 8th between Stoneman and Yenfi Yanaga. Oh, contact between those two. Oh, Stoneman gets in the wall hard. Oh dear, they're getting antsy.
Oh, contact between Yannicka.
And Schliesenbach. They're getting aggressive everywhere right now.
Side-by-side lap cars ahead is not at all what Brigantino wants to see. It is a lot harder to go 3 wide on lap cars than it is just side-by-side.
Oh, and the 96 drifted up the track, too.
That allowed Handstrom to close in, but she isn't making the move just yet. May soon, though. Brigantino drifts a little bit again. Handstrom is very much
Not close
in
enough.
line, looking, not making it, though.
Not close enough. And remember, next week we've got Darlington. Darlington's such a fun track. Hey, the gap is under a second now, and Handstrom goes underneath the 96. We have a race here.
Yeah, saying it would happen sooner, and it looks like it has. And now Happerman is really closing in on the 96 of Brigantino. Obviously, Alcantes as well, not only a half a second.
Oh, and the 96 drifted again. She just doesn't have a handle on the car. I think the handle on her
Stuff
car.
up a little bit too much.
Okay, the handle on her car is just kind of going away. Also, don't look now. Jukovic is closing in as well.
Yeah, just a second to the 96 and half a second to the 18. This could be a 3-horse race should they get separated with Happerman passing the 96, which isn't going to happen yet, but may soon.
'18 slid up a little bit. Everyone's sliding through the corners. Here goes Happerman to the inside on the 96, trying to make the ground up. And now, nobody between the 96 and the 18. Here comes Perry Alacantes, looking to the inside, trying to get the lead.
Side by side in 1 and 2, 96 drifts high, and the 18 is almost clear off the corner.
Not quite, though. 96 gets the run off.
Jukovic is there as well.
62 is trying to take second.
from this.
And Alacantes now back out front.
Jukovic trying to make the move for second stick. I think she might be, nope, not quite clear off of turn 2, but still side by side, nose ahead, down into turn number 3. Should be clear off of 4, and she is.
She's clear. And Rugatino drops from first to third as Perry Alacantes and Halas Jukovic have gotten by.
41 to go, and we really have a race on our hands. Rugatino may fight back, though, on the 62.
Alacantes out front, but not by much, and Jukovic is sticking with there. And Jukovic may be close. We may have a battle between these two for the win. Between these three, really. I think all three of them have a chance.
Yeah, don't cut out Rigatino. Alacantes drifts a little wide again. I'm not sure how much advantage that Jukovic will be able to take from that, but definitely closed in a touch there.
She's very close.
Very close, side by side, imminent, I think, for the 62. Not just yet, but maybe in 1 and 2.
You can tell the 62 wants to make a move.
Absolutely, it's just a question between wanting and being able.
Well, and that and making a smart move as well is what the 62 is trying to do.
Absolutely, 35 to go, not as much time left, but you do still have a few chances to either take or lose it. She's gonna take it. Easily.
And the new leader is the 62 of Halas Jukovic, who won back at Daytona. But it's still taken her a decent bit to kind of get adjusted to oval racing in North America, but she's really starting to pick things up. And she pitted very early. She was one of the earliest cars on pit road. Now fight for second. Here comes Rigatino underneath Alacantes. No, 96 has got that spot. And again, we may be seeing Rugatino's car kick in the long run again.
We'll see if Rugatino can close into the 62's gap, and right now it's staying about where it is, maybe losing a little bit, but still 31 to go to decide this.
Jukovic is starting to pull away now, though. And we saw last run, Jukovic,
and now some more.
Jukovic was pretty good on the long run. She's really starting to be strong here. For further information, because of our red flag, it may take a little longer to get the points. I will try to do my best to get them as soon as I can, but it may take a little longer because I have to calculate the bonuses for leading laps and everything. Just an FYI, so the post-race may be a little longer before we get there.
Well, while we look forward to that, we can look ahead to the 62 of Halis Jukovic, who isn't getting as much now. It looks like the 96 and the 18 did gain about a tenth there, now that they're not battling each other so much.
Yeah. We'll see if Jukovic can hang on. Obviously, she's got a fast car.
Definitely question, is it fast enough to maintain this gap, maintain this lead, and win the race?
She held it pretty...
We'll see if we have 25 to go this time.
She held it pretty solidly that lap. Didn't lose really anything.
Yeah, pretty consistent gap, but it looks like Rugatino might be getting a little bit bigger in her rearview mirror. About a tenth that time.
Yep, 96 gained. And remember that Jukovic, involved in the accident that caused the red flag, she actually ended up getting her car repaired. They put it back together, and now she's out front.
Did gain 2 tenths though. 1 second now ahead of the 96.
Yeah, the 62's starting to look better and better.
And the 18 has closed in more to the 96.
Yeah, that has the added effect of kind of taking a little bit of air off the 96's bumper. Fight for 9th place. There's Malikson and Stoneman. Abby Little sits back in 11th. Her bracket competitor Carly Burns still 4th. And Jukovic continues to keep the gap around a second. The 18's just kind of starting to hit that late run point of not really having as much.
Definitely now half a second behind the 96. Slipped back a little bit, and I think maybe closing back in more now. We have 20 to go. The gap back to Brigatino is 1 3/10, and then it's 1 7 to the 18.
And then it's 4 seconds from Jukovic back to Carly Byrne, and 10 seconds back to the 6th place car, Yenfi Yanaga. And Jukovic continues to gain on Rugatino. Jukovic now starting to look at passing this 31 car. And it's kind of wild that Jukovic is this fast. Remember, she was one of the earliest cars to come to pit road. But she continues to gap the 96 and 18. I wonder if the 62 kind of saved her stuff until... I wonder if the 62 saved her stuff until later in the run so that maybe she could run down the 18 and 96.
That is definitely the smart approach to have, as certainly the 18 and 96 were very fast, but might have used their stuff up early on, as you mentioned. And now struggling to pull away from Mimi Barino, while the 62 is closing in once again on Taylor Happman.
Well, let's see how the gaps look between Jukovic and Alicantes, who's now taken second.
It was 1.9 seconds his last lap, and that increased.
Alicantes gained just a little bit.
1.8 seconds.
Alicantes is going to have to make up a lot of ground and going to have to do it consistently every lap to have a shot at this. And she's not consistent.
14 to go, you need to gain a little bit more than a tenth each lap in order to close in. And that's not even considering the lap car of Reister there, or just passing being different from catching.
Halis Jukovic won back at Daytona. She had a podium at South Boston, a podium in Lausitzring, but that's been her podiums. She's only had 3 podiums so far this season. Alicante starting to close in and make the gap look respectable, but I'm not sure if Alicantes is going to have enough to get to that 62. It's not consistent.
For outer windows 11 to go. The gap is 1.8 seconds, and, well, at this rate, you'd have to gain really about 2/10, considering passing the car as well. So, we'll see if that happens. I doubt it, though.
It's Jukovic's race to lose. Now, on the positive end for a lot of these cars, this means that we do for sure have 1 point spot available in... Oh, caution!
This changes everything. Yellow is out.
And we're gonna get a late restart.
My goodness me. Wow. This
Well,
changes everything.
That's changed a lot. And I'm not sure what the caution is for.
I didn't see anybody with a problem on or off the racetrack. So I'm just as puzzled as you. And that will warrant looking at when we can get a bit more information. Now, do you come to pit road and take fresh tires? I'm not sure you do, because fresh tires haven't meant as much tonight as perhaps we thought, but...
I don't know. I don't know.
If you're a leader, absolutely not. But if you're somebody like, I suppose, Delodge, maybe Stoneman, Malkson, maybe you do. But why did the caution come out? Because I don't see a reason for it yet. So watch here for the exact moment the caution comes out.
Right here.
There it is.
I don't see anything.
Why?
There may have been debris on the racetrack. But we will have to get a word as to why the caution came out.
certainly been a racetrack that has had strange reasons for cautions coming out before. This will set us up for a late race restart, which will have drastic effects.
Well, this has changed quite a bit here. So now, it's going to come down to a restart instead of anything else. I thought this race was going green to the end, but we have had a bit of a shakeup.
Well, it was a safe assumption to assume it was going green. We didn't even have an incident that caused a caution, so a bit surprised that it did come out. We'll have to see exactly why as we get the waiver rounds done here, but my goodness, Jukovic will have to defend for her life on this restart. I'll have a restart with, I think, is it going to be 3 to go, I think? Or, what before?
I believe it will end up being 4 to go.
Well, the pace car's lights have gone out, so yes, it'll be a restart with 4 laps to go.
4 laps to settle it.
3 miles that Jukovic has to stay out front and defend from Alcantes and others.
Oh boy.
Are you scared? I'm scared.
Yes. I don't know what's gonna happen, but there's gonna be something that happens, and it's...
Well, we won't get a second restart, I know that.
That's for sure.
If this were NASCAR, we would, but AWSCO is a little bit different. We don't have overtime.
Alrighty. Pace car's off. 4 laps for all the marbles. Green flag. Jukovic with an okay start.
Byrne with a bad jump, though. Top 3 are starting to pull away from
Top
Byrne.
3 got away.
Jukovic hasn't been usurped just yet, but Alcantes is definitely a threat.
Alcantes is there.
You know?
Alcantes goes wide, though.
Barreling down into turn 3, it stays about the same as it was the previous time through here. We'll come across with 2 to go.
2 laps. Jukovic trying to hold on. Alcantes trying to get to the 62.
If a move happens, it shall be on the final lap. Jukovic out front, and she has the white flag in her sights.
1 lap to go.
Left to Richmond. It must
Flagman
happen
was a
down to
little...
turn 3.
Oh, Flagman was a little delayed getting the white flag out. Here comes Alcantes. She got a good run off the corner. Davison trying for 3rd. Alcantes can't quite get there. And it's going to be Halis Jukovic, who goes to victory lane in Richmond. Jukovic wins the Valvoline 400.
How about Davison snatching a podium in 3rd ahead of Rigatino?
And
And Delon
Jukovic
gets a top 5 for the first time in a while.
just held on. To win the race. Well, with all that, how do you feel about how that race went?
Uh, it was. It didn't have quite as many cautions as Iowa, but it was definitely more eventful, I think. Not after we get a red flag, but we definitely got it after that big backstretch pileup. But everybody was mostly behaved afterward. I think that caution, though, even though it didn't upset the winner, it will go down as a memory, certainly of a caution that had no clear reason. Maybe rain, perhaps, maybe debris, we don't know. But certainly changed things and made it a thrilling end.
Well, Halis Jukovic wins the race, and this is also pretty key for the playoff race. This means that we will have 20 drivers in the playoffs. We have our field size for sure set. Halis Jukovic, with her second win of the year, becomes the 8th different driver to get to multiple wins this season. And her first win since the season opener back at Daytona. So, drivers who won in the first couple weeks of the season, doing pretty good lately. Getting their second wins now. All right, with all that being said, we're going to take you down to our FanDuel Fan Studio with Rashi and Ellie for our post-race show presented by FanDuel. Rashi, Ellie, what do you two got for us down there? And do you have anything that we may want to know about pending the end of this race?
Yeah, Echo. Just wanted to let everyone know. I think just wanted to let everyone know that last caution there. I think race control was suspecting there might have been some drops of rain at the race on the racing surface, and that's why they called out the caution out of abundance of caution. There, they called a yellow flag and brought the race to a temporary halt there. Obviously, it ended up being good enough to race for the rest of the way. So, just a bit of a mild concern there, but good to see that we got the rest of the race done with, basically. And congrats to the 62 of Halis Jukovic holding off the 18 of Perry Alacontes for the win there. Definitely interesting to see a second half of the race that was pretty much entirely clean. That was the one caution we had wasn't for any kind of wreck, so it was fun, I think, to watch a green flag race at Richmond. That's the kind of thing you want to see at this track. It's a very strategy oriented track, and that's the kind of thing I personally really enjoyed about this track. That last run was excellent.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and that caution doesn't surprise me too much. I mean, we are in Richmond. This part of Virginia does get some little rain shower cells that pop up, and sometimes they get close enough, and then they just end up deteriorating. So, I mean, that's probably kind of what happened here, and they assessed that, we'll drive on it anyways, and it looked like the racing was pretty fine with that. I mean, I really liked that last green flag run, and the late caution was just kind of it kind of just added a cherry on top of kind of goofiness with this race. This race was great, but there was also a little hint of just silliness with this track.
Yeah, that last run to the last 200 laps being green all the way really made for some interesting viewing, I think. Obviously, timing that last pit stop was gonna be a crucial matter here for all of the teams, and it looked like the 96 of Rugatino had it locked down, coming in fairly early to take those tires, trying to undercut, I think, both the 62 and 18, but those two coming in later must have had some very good adjustments on that car, because they were able to run down the 96 and pass her with fairly little resistance. Quite impressed with that run by those two.
Yeah. Honestly, I wasn't really even expecting the 62 to pull away like that. Rugatino looked really good. I thought she was going to go back to back. I was really questioning whether, are we really going to see her get 2 wins this fast? Guess not. Another thing to talk about here as well, Abby Little is now eliminated in that bracket.
Yeah, that was the one race. That was the one battle that was left to be settled on the track. So I think we're going to have our four semi-finalist, I should say. In the in-season tournament, Darlington going to be at Darlington. That's gonna be another really fun race. I know you're a big fan of Darlington. That's one of my favorite ovals as well, especially with the Cup drivers. I think they're gonna have a really good time at that track. It's gonna be a big challenge for everyone, but that's the fun of Darlington Raceway. It's one of the most challenging, most unconventional ovals as well.
Yeah, Darlington is always really great to watch. I'm really excited to see everybody get to hit the road on that track. I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, and unless I'm mistaken here, I think the final four is going to be, well, the semifinals are going to be Carly Byrne versus Marisha Vevelst, and then Michele Yatica versus Taylor Happeman there. So we are going to get an all ERR battle on one side of the semifinals. And, well, a Chevy and a Toyota, yeah. A Chevy and Toyota will be facing off on the other side. What do you think about that? What do you think about our matchups here? We have two teammates going up against each other at Darlington. That's gonna be fun to watch. That's bound to be fun to watch as well. Yatica and Happeman as well. Both two drivers on relatively good form as well on the other side.
Yeah, teammate versus teammate is going to be very interesting to watch, and Happeman is another case of she's kind of just been pretty decent lately. Like, I think she's going to be very interesting to watch in that matchup as well. I'm really excited to kind of just see how competitive this bracket kind of gets, because you're having teammates against each other as well, who are usually decently friendly to each other on the track, so I'm kind of interested to see how friendly they'll be matched up against each other in the bracket.
Oh, looking at the rest of the top 10 here, Andrea Davison first stole away third place from Rugatino at the end there. The Laud rounding out the top 5 then was Carly Byrne, Emery Wesco, Yen Fianaga, Audie Stoneman, and Abby Little top 10. Definitely, definitely a top 10 that we could see coming from quite a long way there with that long last run. A lot of good, well set up cars in the second half of that race.
Yeah, I guess that is a silver lining of for Abby Little fans to look at, is she did get a top 10.
And crucially, of course, for the two drivers at the top of the standings without wins, that would be Nihil and Malakson. Those two are pretty much guaranteed. Want to say, hang on, 1, 2, 3 spots, not quite. I want to say with 2 races left. But yeah, that basically, it puts them in a much better position now with 2 races left. Only 2 new winners possible here, and with 1 spot guaranteed to go to the to the regular season champion. It's gonna be, at worst, it's going to be one of those 2 that miss the playoffs in case we do get 2 new winners, which we'll see whether or not that happens. Darlington is a track that does favor the best of the best, so if there's a track where I expect a team and driver combo that's performed well this season to to perform at, it would be that track. There's a lot of work. That goes around racing at Darlington, and that's something that the best of the best teams are often able to get right more often than not.
Yeah, Darlington is a really hard track, and it's a really complex track in terms of how long you're really just running those, kind of just running for. It's just a really long, hard track. It's really great. I think it's, I think the thing with Darlington is that some of the drivers who are just more on the mid-end, who do great on short tracks and do great on even some of the just mid-end speedways, I think we're going to see them not do so great here, just given with how Darlington is kind of just shaped.
Yeah, obviously the egg-shaped oval. The egg-shaped oval makes the track really unconventional because both corners are already weirdly shaped enough as it is with the profile of the profiling of the turns. adding one corner that's just a little bit tighter than the other one, you know, it just adds to that nature, I think. That's going to be something teams are going to be really keen to prove themselves in. Obviously, Darlington's a difficult track, but it's also a great opportunity for teams to really show their stuff.
Oh yeah, I think there's probably going to be some teams who people are kind of just like look over, and they might show up and do really decent at Darlington because again, the track kind of lends itself to some of the better racers, and if there's some overlooked racers and they end up doing really good at Darlington, then I think that's kind of a good sign for the next season of who to look at.
Yeah, definitely. I would say that's the case. Darlington's often a good showcase of driver talent, and that's kind of the thing we're hoping to see. Then, of course, our final race in both the regular season and the in-season tournament is going to be Pensacola, which is that big super speedway. That's a whole nother can of worms. That race is going to be all about full throttle action, and it's going to be a show, really.
Yeah, I haven't seen too many races there, but I do know that the track is very fun to watch, and I know it's kind of more of a I would say it's less difficult than Darlington, so I think that'll just be kind of a track to just see if we get a new winner there. I don't know if we'll get a new winner at Darlington. I really don't know.
It's always possible. I've seen it happen before.
Yeah, we could, but I feel like getting a new winner is going to be more possible at Pensacola and more likely. I mean, we could go back-to-back 2 new winners. I feel like that could also be a result, but I'm not really sure about that either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, as we await the points standings here, might take a little bit here because of all the because of all the because of all the calculations we gotta make here with the mid-race break. Just gotta make sure everything's up. Make sure all the all the results are aligned. Obviously, interruption to the race kind of throwing the records a little bit out of whack there, but we'll figure it out.
What are you expecting from these points?
I mean,
before we really get them.
Before we get the results of the points. Oh, let's take a look at the points actually that we had coming into this race. Nope, that's not quite. That's the Continental Series standings that we're looking at. You gotta give me another second here. Still looking around for it. There it is. Right, obviously you have the two drivers up top. This what do you call it? Nihil and Malixon, I think. It's a good question, actually. I would think Nihil retains the lead. I'll have to double check what the points payouts here. But I would think it's still those two up top, and then good question with Fancy, Garnston, and Stoneman, because those two didn't have that good of a race, the 1 and 27. The 10 did. There's a chance that
The 10 had a great race.
The 10 had a great race. That might actually be that car. Let's see. Stoneman was 18 outright. Oh, it's very possible that she's actually jumped both of them to take that last point spot.
Yeah.
So would Schliesenbach as well, but Schliesenbach could be roped in right into this battle as well in the middle of it too, with her run. Like that last run, I think that's a driver we didn't really mention. But that last 200 lap run was extremely beneficial to Lori Schliesenbach with a good car and was able to finish well because of that. Let's see where she finished. There it is, 17th place. Yep. Yeah, managed to wrangle up a good result. I think that would be that's another driver to look out for. I think again, given Garston and Vanti a pretty. Had a few problems in their race. Stoneman also finishing the top 10, obviously gonna be a big boost to her playoff to her playoff hopes here. But it's gonna be very close, I think now.
Garnston and Vanti were drivers I was kind of expecting weren't going to run too hot here, just given while they didn't really run too hot in Iowa either, and seeing that kind of just has some major
To be
implications.
fair, yeah. Though to be fair, both of them had problems in both races. I don't really know what their pace really was in those races.
Yeah,
Considering Vancy blew up in this race as well. So
yeah. But regardless, that has some serious implications for the points right now.
mm-hmm. But yeah, I think here we're getting those reversals. Now Stoneman has taken that last playoff spot over Garnston and Vanty, so yet another change to the playoff battle here. And well, I'm not sure what's that's really gonna shake things. Things are really shaken up again. This playoff race in the Cup Series is not disappointing. Things are constantly happening here. And that last playoff spot is a game of musical chairs. Just 1 point ahead, Audie Stoneman of Alicia Vancy. Garnston remains 12 points back, and Schliesenbach and Parkings are actually tied 27 back. So still a lot is possible here, given that we have 2 races coming up. That would be a lot of big point swings that are possible here. So if we don't get a new winner, there's a good chance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars are kind of in this, all within a chance of getting that last playoff spot.
Yeah, that's going to make for a very competitive field. I mean, Nihale and Malixon are still in a really great position, but
yeah,
there's about 5 cars right now that look pretty competitive enough to try and battle it out, to try and get it on points, which I think that's going to give us a great show, honestly. Because the more competitive it gets in this playoff bubble, the more aggressive we're going to see some of these cars in the playoff bubble drive, which is just going to lead to very kind of aggressive, fast-paced, interesting races to watch.
Yeah, and that's going to make Pensacola all the more intense, I think. With all of those drivers, positions change very quickly at super speedways in this. And at a big track, at a big super speedway like Pensacola, expect those position changes and points and point shifts to be all over the place, nearly untrackable, basically. And yeah, and that's of course not taking the possibility of a new winner into this, which again throws another wrench into things.
Yeah, that definitely does. I mean, throwing a new winner in here makes it even harder.
Yeah, and that's very possible at a track like Pensacola.
Looks like we just got that bracket.
Yeah, looking at the bracket, I think that confirms what we were looking at. Yeah, it'll be Yatka and Happerman on one side, Byrne and Vevelst on the other side. So that's going to be the main thing to watch out for in the Darlington race. That's going to be a lot of fun. So, yeah, be sure to tune in for that race as well. I guarantee you that the Southern 500 is going to be an entertaining race. All right, and with that, we'll throw things back to the booth now. It's been a great having everyone here in the studio with us. A bit of a weird situation with the mid-race report, and even with the post-race show, with all the weird cautions that were happening. With the timing of the last caution there, but yeah, overall, congratulations to Hollis Jukovic on the great win, and we'll see you next week here from the FanDuel Fan Studio. Thank you.
And a very fun race here from Richmond Raceway. After 400 laps, Hollis Jukovic got her second win of the season in a very, very strong showing from Jukovic. Next week we'll be at Darlington for both the Continental and the Cup Series. And then after that, we'll be at Pensacola for the regular season finale and the bracket finale. We hope to see you there for both of those. On behalf of Madison, Rasha, and Ellie, I'm Echo. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.